You are now listening to Undrafted GM with your host, Lo.
30 game. 3rd down and 9. 8 drop into coverage. 3 get pressure and sack Boykin back at the 33. It's Mosby again, and the punt team comes out for the Frogs.
All right, welcome to another edition, a very special edition of Undrafted GM, presented by Say What You Will Radio Network. We have to my right, my man Damani Mosby in studio. Welcome.
What's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm great.
I'm really excited about this, man. I'm really geeked that we made this happen. This was a couple months in the works too.
Right. When I hit you, I think it was
like 2 months ago. Yeah,
March or end of February.
Yeah,
you asked me to do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
He said, I'll make it happen. So we actually got lucky. Damani's in state, came out from Atlanta, Georgia. So we're going to spend some time with him today. I got a lot of questions for him. But just make sure that if you're watching this right now, feel free to tune in to Say What You Will Radio on Facebook. You're going to go want to check out at undrafted_GM on YouTube. You're going to want to check that out on Instagram. We're also going to leave Damani's information down there. Now, Damani is a former Kansas defensive end, weak side DN, played at MCC, makes a community here locally. Desert Ridge High School was literally just down the street.
Absolutely.
Man, so I got to ask you, okay, because I remember you number 3, right? And we had that one picture in the video. I'm going to start it off. What made you wind up at D end? I wanted to ask that. I've been meaning to ask that since like high school.
Well, what's funny is I've always been at the end. They asked me to do wide receiver,
which is wild.
Yeah, Coach Hathcock is that's a wild man right there.
And
he likes, I don't know, he wanted me to play receiver. I know a lot of times we had really short numbers.
Yeah,
our junior year. So it's out of necessity.
Right. Right.
That wasn't that bad either.
Okay. You know? He said, yeah, I had to give me a little, a couple touches, right?
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's not as much glory in D end as there is a receiver,
I'm cool with that, though.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you can definitely make enough plays at D end.
For sure. Yeah, there's glory. It just looks different, right?
If anything, outside of maybe cornerback, if you make a good play at defensive end, I mean, everybody knows you there.
Yeah, and you're changing the game at that point, right? Those
Absolutely.
are possession changers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're the first ones to it.
Right, man. Well, that's funny. Like I said, it's oh man, we already got our first comment. Jacob Thompson says, "Hey, what's up,
JT, man?
Oh
What's going
man,
on?
Jacob Thompson. Yeah,
I haven't
in
seen
the
JT
in the thing.
Ever, man.
Yeah,
Hope
I
you're
just
doing
saw him
okay.
2 weeks ago. Doing good, Jacob. As always, our prayers are with you. We know you're going through a little bit of a hard time right now, but prayers out to you and your family. But man, like I said, I'm so glad to have you here, bro. I'm so excited. We've got so much to get to.
Good to be here, man.
But I want to talk about who you just mentioned, Coach Hathcock. Okay.
Right.
So we were lucky enough to have Joey in studio, talk to him. Joey Counts.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were on that team together. I mean, for multiple years.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about your experience with Coach Hathcock. What was that like playing for him?
Coach Hathcock really means a lot to me. As a matter of fact, I don't think Coach Hathcock knows how much he meant to me during my years at Desert Ridge and even after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I am a type of player that responds to harsh criticism.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's honestly the best way.
I love that honesty.
To get progress and success out of me is, coaching me hard,
right.
Being critical. So that's definitely that was his mantra.
That was his MO.
That was his MO. And I mean, a lot of people don't know it nowadays, but yeah, man, him and everybody else on that coaching staff. Honestly.
Yeah, Coach Jackson. Yeah, they were all that way.
Coach Jackson, Coach Mafumi, Coach Hayes, Coach Hayes, man, listen,
tough one.
Yeah, no, seriously,
tough one.
Seriously, and it made for a hard-nosed team.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of dogs on that team, man.
A bunch of them. A lot of guys that went to higher levels. A lot of guys that played a lot of really good football.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, you said he kind of doesn't know how much he means to me. Where do you think? Obviously, you've had a really big path with football. You played at very high levels. How do you think Hathcock kind of set you up for success long term?
Accountability. And even to this day, like with the guys that I coach, he expects a lot out of you, especially if you show that you have the opportunity and the ability to do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for guys like, me and Jordan, Joey, and Alex, and everybody else, even auxiliary guys that, we depend on each other and we depend on that person to do their job.
Yeah.
Listen, man, if you don't do your job, he's gonna let you hear it.
Yeah.
Along with everybody else on the
right,
staff. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's the consistency of that made us, that's one of the many things that made us such a good team.
Right. So, obviously you spent your time at Desert Ridge. I'm going to interrupt just real quick, Jacob. I just wanted to make sure we got an update. Jacob says, thank you. She came home today. And just for those that are watching the show, if you guys are tuned in to Undrafted GM right now, Jacob is a family friend of ours. He's having a family member just go through some trials and tribulations right now. But
by the way, let me go ahead. That's my dog, Bazzy Bates, is doing this thing.
Oh, quick shout out
in Texas. Yes.
Okay.
That's my road dog, man. He's doing some terrific things with training and everything like that. He has a thing, Motivation Mondays or something like that. He puts on Instagram every week.
Okay.
It's love. I don't think he's done it in a minute because he's been so busy.
Yeah.
But hey, if anybody wants to go over there and just get some advice, some words.
Okay.
Man.
You heard it here first. Hit the man up. Get direct. He's in Texas, you said?
Yes, Texas.
Right, cool.
Dallas, Texas, I believe.
Well, man, we're going to need some of those motivational Mondays. Maybe we'll play some on the show for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. But no, so, making that transition into the next level, right? When we talked to Joey a little bit, he had some struggle with his, recruitment and some of that process. We talked about that, with that Desert Ridge staff, with Hathcock, with Pafumi and them. What kind of was your transition to taking that step forward? What was that like, going into your senior season, being a top 25 player in the state? You were all state, what was were you heavily recruited? Did you get a lot of offers? What was that like?
Okay, well, I was heavily recruited, but the thing was with me, it was grades.
Okay.
Right. And,
right.
Anybody that really knows my story, especially all the coaches at Desert Ridge, everybody can understand that it wasn't an academic thing. It was more of a discipline thing.
Mm.
Back then, we practiced a long time. And this is not an excuse. This is not an excuse. Look, we got to get the job done. At the end of the day, whatever you got to do, do the damn thing.
Jeremy
See you
Hathcock,
do
if
it.
you're hearing this, just ignore what he's saying.
No, man, no, he knows. Coach knows. But like we would practice, from sun up to sundown. So when school is over with, we got to get everything ready and get out there. And bed doesn't hit the pillow or head doesn't hit the pillow until, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock. And we've been going since 3.
Right.
At least. School got out at like 2:30.
Yeah.
And we got to be on the field ready.
Yeah,
At
ready.
the class, everything on the field, ready, getting ready to stretch. 3 o'clock, boom. And I don't know, man. I get home and I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah,
I'm
at that
so tired.
point.
I'm just hey, there's no homework being done, buddy. Not at all. So
Worked you to the bone.
right. So the way high school is set up, man. Like if you don't do your homework, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it.
And the other thing too about it with me as well is I enable myself in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, absolutely.
if somebody does well on the tests and still doesn't do like good on the homework or doesn't do their homework, it doesn't really connect. So like, I don't need this homework. If you're young, you know what I'm saying? If you're young and you thinking like, look, I'm good on these tests, but I'm still got to do this homework. It doesn't connect. And that's exactly what's going on with me.
That's great. And I love your honesty. And I'm going to give a quick shout out to my producer there, Pops, because if Pop knows one thing about me, I was on the same wave as you. I was like, these tests are, it is what it is. We can make it through.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So the homework is.
You would think though.
I
mean, at 16, 17, 18 years old, you're in high school.
Right.
And you would think the tests matter more than anything. Why is my grade so low just because I'm not doing this homework? This homework that's supposed to help me on the test.
On the test, right?
And this test that I'm missing. What is make it make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Either way, things are the way they are.
Hindsight 2020.
Absolutely.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't do the work. So as far as the recruiting is concerned, a little bit of a story. My recruiting shot up after my junior year. Right.
You did have a stellar junior year. I remember that.
It was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I was behind.
I could be humble, but I got you.
No, it was decent because I didn't even start my junior year.
Right.
I moved to Arizona my sophomore year. I didn't play JV. So, I mean, for you would know it. 100% who was the sophomore that played on that varsity team. That was that nucleus that we had so much success.
Yeah, and that was a very tight core. That
Absolutely.
was a very tight core for sure.
If people around this neighborhood know this, they know that. So I came in. I wasn't a part of that nucleus.
No, you were not.
I came in and I was on JV. I had to be taught the position of defensive end.
Right.
That's where I started. I don't know if you know Coach Harris. He's the one that taught me the position.
Yeah.
He's the one that taught me the position. And
shout out Coach Harris.
I literally had to work my way up.
Wow.
And it wasn't until halfway through my junior year that I actually got that opportunity to start.
So you were just rotating at that point, just trying to get as much production as you could in your snaps.
One day, Coach Performance told Hathcock, he's like, hey, what are we doing?
Let him spin. Let him go. Yeah.
Just let me in. And then, the rest was kind of history about it. So after that year, I went to an unofficial to U of A.
Okay.
And after that, you get the whole summer camps and stuff like that. We go there, ball. You got the lineman camps, the lineman competitions, and all these things like that.
Your summers are busy.
Very busy.
Right.
Very, very busy. But it's good. I mean, we stayed active. So, I mean, I wouldn't really have it any other way. I think it's always be like that.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing is, during that recruitment period, it's funny because there's some guys that take those recruitment periods and they really excel, right? All that busyness drives them. They get in the best shape of their lives. They start, meeting different coaches. They kind of open their personality a little bit because it's so exciting.
Right. Yeah.
So what was kind of your experience when you're going on those unofficial visits? Did you like U of A? Maybe what was one of the reasons you weren't driven that direction?
I didn't like U of A.
Okay. I like the honesty.
I'm sorry, man.
I like that.
It was around the year that they were building the new stadium.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I might be getting my timeline mixed up. It was a junior day. So it was before the junior year. I think it was like, going into my junior season. 2010,
2011?
Yes, going into the 2010 season. The state year. Going into the state year.
Right, when we play here.
Yeah. So I didn't like it up there, man. It was just, I don't know. If anything, I'm a Valley guy.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
Okay. Going up there, I didn't really mess with that.
So when was there like a certain list of things that you were looking for when you were at school? Like if there's somebody watching and they're like, oh man, I'm about to be in recruitment or whatever, what would you say were some things that were maybe important to you now that shouldn't have been, or important to you then that shouldn't have been, or kind of what were your thoughts there?
It changed. At first, in high school, there is a set of priorities that when you looked at it in the school. You're young then, so
right.
You want to go to the school with the the notoriety and maybe a nice jersey, alternate jersey and stuff like that.
Alternate jersey, I like that you threw that in.
You know what I'm saying?
Cold,
I mean, just being honest, like
right.
I mean, at that age, I mean, outside of, especially if you don't have like a parent that is like familiar with the process,
been through the process,
it's really all on you. Outside of, obviously, the parents are going to tell you like, academic school, like what are they,
right?
What type of degree you're going to get? That's my dad, up and down.
Did he have a preference for you?
As far as the school, no. But as far as what mattered when I'm looking at one, yeah, it was all academics, and he had his hand in that. So did my mom. But it wasn't. JUCO was a little bit different. The priorities, number one being, where am I going to play?
Yeah,
a lot
playtime, right?
I've virtually wasted 2 years.
And so, let's talk about that, because so you went from Desert Ridge, you said you had some heavy recruitment in your junior year. Your decision to go to MCC. Okay. I know you said that obviously had some great stuff. Was there any other offers out there from maybe a D1, D2 that you took seriously before you decided, you know what, JUCO is the best route for me?
Truthfully, I didn't make the decision that JUCO was the best for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I messed that one up.
Okay.
So, a little backstory, and this is not a lot of people know this. So, hey,
exclusive.
Yeah, it's an exclusive. It's really not a best character moment of my time, but
learn and grow.
Like I said, my GPA wasn't good enough. I scored high on the SAT, but it still wasn't good enough.
Okay,
it's like right at like 2.0. That's how much I did not care.
Yeah,
about like school in that way. You know what I'm saying? As far as doing my work.
Yeah.
So I lost all my real offers. And I don't want to go too far back, but there was a moment going into my senior year, we talked about summer camps, right? We go up to USC. I don't know how many people you've talked to or part of that class, but
I forgot about that USC camp.
The USC camp was, and if we're also talking about making the turning point as far as a team and like realizing now we are those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The USC camp was it. In my opinion.
I forgot about that.
In my
That's
opinion,
right.
we go up there. I love this. I love like talking about this because we go up there and we're going to Cali and there's a lot of schools, and the way that the USC practice area was set up was you park and everything's blocked off. It's brick. It's like a big brick wall that surrounds the practice fields.
Oh, okay.
So you can't see inside until you go through the gate.
Until you're in, right?
So we're all mobbing to the gate. You know what I'm saying? We walk in. And listen, Coach Hancock says this, and this is not indicative to his personality, but look,
I like the disclaimer.
I have to put a disclaimer.
Not indicative of his personality.
I got to put it, but it was funny. But we walk in, and I'm gonna say this, and then you can take it how you want to feel. He walks in, and we look around because he's the first one, and it's me, him, Joey, a couple guys.
Yeah,
walking in, and he's like, "Damn, man, there's a bunch of Damani's walking around here." Think about it, man.
Right. So you're grown.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A bunch of guys with it. So it's like, it was hilarious.
Right.
Everybody that was around it started laughing. And I was like, man, he's right. Right. It was like, this is a bunch of dudes.
Bunch of big dudes, right?
Bunch of big dudes, but a bunch of, yeah, man.
Athletes, right.
So we go through that whole camp. And we're doing real well. I think we only lost like once or twice or whatever. And this is when Lane Kiffin was the head coach.
Right.
And we ended up winning this whole thing.
Yep.
And it was once we did that, man, it was crazy. But during that whole time, USC was the coaches were kind of following our group.
Because you guys were doing so well. You guys were performing, so
right.
they're checking you out.
Right. And when we ended up in the finals against Rancho Verde.
Oh, okay.
Rancho Verde. And I think if I'm not mistaken, that school was like they're always in that state championship.
Yeah, always.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they had some
dogs, yeah.
Funny thing is, we thought that was USC for a minute.
Really?
Seriously, after we were done, one match or one 7-on-7.
Yeah.
We sat down, we were on one side of the field, and on the very, very far end, there was a bunch of guys in red.
Oh, so you guys are like,
around.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We thought that was USC.
You're like, USC brought out a 17?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's dope.
That's the finals?
You know what I'm saying? You walk, okay, we're in finals. Hooray. You know what I'm saying? We get ready, and then those guys are walking to us.
You're like, oh, hell.
Like, what is we was like, what's going on?
Right.
And yeah, it ended up being them, but we ended up beating them.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like it was a realization, like, it looks.
Yeah, we're certified.
Yeah, we don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
And I did well in that too. So I did well in that match specifically.
Wow.
So I remember talking to Coach Kiffin, and Coach Hathcock was telling me they talked personally, right? And he asked them about my grades, obviously. And once Hathcock told him what my situation was, it was over.
The conversation was done.
Yeah,
and that's tough because, I mean, you're at USC.
Right.
You guys are in LA.
Right.
You know, you're at their practice facility.
Right.
And Lane Kiffin comes over and asks about you.
Mm-hmm.
Did that leave a chip on your shoulder for you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I would be lying if I tell you it didn't. But I know Coach Hathcock likes to, I don't know, sometimes you can't really tell if he's trying to deliver a point, and he might like stretch
A little fluff the story a little bit.
Fluff some, because what he told me was they were going to offer you right on the spot. And then I told you that. But it doesn't really much sense though, because like you're not giving a kid an offer without at least
being a game.
Verifying his transcripts.
Okay, I feel you.
If Coach Hathcock said, "Oh no, he's a 3.5 guy," okay, offer him now. No, you got to go back and verify is it right?
That he's a 3.5 guy. Right.
But I do believe about the interests.
Okay.
Either way though, that's what happened most of my year after my senior year.
So it was a lot of those conversations that kind of wound up being stagnant.
Right, big time schools, Cal, USC, a couple East Side schools. I believe he said like North Carolina and Duke and things like that. So it was good. It would have been a fun ride.
A lot more opportunity. Yeah,
absolutely. But it wasn't until then at some point Arizona State rings and they say, hey. I don't know, for some reason, it seems like I guess they were the only school that was willing to do this or took the time to look at my actual situation.
Mm.
And then they said, you can do this. Like there's a scenario where you can do one math class in the summer at what's the call? Rio Salado, I believe, or
so was it like one of those dual credit classes?
Something like that.
Okay.
I can't really remember exactly what it was, but it was an online school for high school.
Mm.
And I had to do this math class, and then I think once I passed that math class, I could gray shirt or something. I got on campus.
Oh, at that point, you're like, okay, I'm pretty much on roster.
Right.
It kind of bumps that eligibility. Okay.
Right. It did something. It was them. ASU was telling me this.
Wow.
So they were telling me what I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like Coach Hathcock. There was no counselor up in the front at Desert Ridge like, oh no, this is what you know. ASU was calling me. It's like, okay, do this, that, get this on that,
right,
and you're good.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, and this is like the story roundabout back to the question that you asked me from the beginning.
Right. That's how it works here. Don't worry.
Right.
I'm going to get you way off course.
I tricked off that class.
Really?
I tricked it off.
Wow.
Lowest point ever. I mean, it was an extreme case of procrastination.
I was to say, so there's like, there's points as a man where like something will come up, right? Mm-hmm. And you're just like, okay, I know I need to do this, but you can't really get yourself to take that one step out the door.
Yeah.
Is it one of those situations, or were you just like, okay, I'm going to go, but like,
Here's what I'll say. As far as that class was concerned, I do remember doing the first, because math has always been my subject.
Oh man, so it's been my weakest.
A lot of man. A lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
But it was my strongest. Math has always been easy for me. So it's that thought already. Boom. Math is easy. I got this. And then I did like a lesson or two, and I ran through it.
Oh, so you're like, this cake, I'll do it whenever.
Right. And then 2 weeks get to the end of the damn course, and I quickly realized I was
you're sunk
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it fell through, and then boom, floodgates opened. Every damn JUCO in the state was like, hey, come play for me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So was it something that
real quick?
Go ahead.
Jacob might be getting ahead of the ball game here, but he said, AD, how is the transition going from MCC to Kansas?
Yeah, he's jumping. Don't worry. We're going to get there.
I'm going to tell him.
Yeah, we're going to get into all that. But no, that is a good question. I appreciate that question, Jacob. No, we're definitely going to get to that and that's kind of where I want to take you next. But so so was it like, okay, that class ended and you started getting calls right away, or was there like a conversation, or how did that?
I mean, it was honestly like a couple of days after that. Once everything kind of settled, the dust kind of settled with, hey, he's not even, Richard Obert or whatever he's like I don't see anybody else that's a media person.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
In Arizona, he covers all the high school games and stuff like that.
Right.
I think that triggered it. Because he was on the story the whole time, I guess. Somebody she was telling him like what my situation was, and then he would call me or just reach out to me. I don't think he was calling. I think it was like Facebook or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell him like what was going on. I told him I was going to be in ASU at this point after I did this class. I jumped the gun, but I mean,
it's because so mentally you were like, yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. So
right,
I just
told him. And he was doing his whole his media thing, and then boom, didn't happen. And then all of a sudden, a few days later, MCC, all these schools, what's up?
That's Oh yeah, we'll get to that in 1 second. The man, that's a tough point, and I love the fact that you're like, you know what, that's just is what it is. That's kind of where I'm at. I owned it and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for them to reach out that quick, that's crazy. I didn't know that turnaround was like that.
Yeah.
But what's that like thinking back and like being like, man, I had somebody literally in the media following me doing this.
Well, I didn't really pay it any mind, and I honestly don't think he was, following me. I just think it was like, a little side story for people that paid attention, because I did really well my senior year.
Yeah, you did.
I would tell people that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the All States, the Super 25s. I was on the Super 25 team with Joey. Yep. And it's funny, like when I was watching the his podcast with you guys, he mentioned the dinner.
Oh,
remember that the dinner he
yes.
said, and then it was the one where they said raise your hand if so and so. I didn't even make that dinner.
Really?
I didn't. So like I understand, like he didn't even really remember that I was a part of that, but I was. Friday Night Fever gave me Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
So like it was a good year.
It was up, right?
It was a good year,
man.
And then after that, once all that happened, it wasn't surprising for the coverage, just a little, small little coverage about it, but
right.
I don't think it was a big thing either way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm definitely going to pick your brain because now I want to know about, you transition to MCC, definitely Coach Felker, that whole thing. If you guys are watching right now, I appreciate you guys following along with us. We have Damani Mosby in the house. It's been awesome. I'm really excited to keep talking to him a little bit more about his story, but I want to talk about some important things. We got to pay the bills here. You feel me? So got to talk about some sponsors real quick. I want to give a quick shout out. You can see my hat, Espinoza Group, azhomesbysherry.com. If you guys are looking for a realtor, if you're looking to purchase a home, you need to get in touch with Sherry Espinoza. She is the best in the Valley. I promise you that. She is a close family friend of ours, and not just because of her real estate connections. So check that out, azhomesbysherry.com. I want to give a big shout out, though, to Good Talk Radio. We are currently being simulcast on goodtalkradio.com. If you guys want to, go check out their website. They have all their other shows that they cast on there as well. This show is actually also streamed on their they have a Roku channel. And so you'll want to go check that out. That is Wednesdays at 3 p.m. that we are simulcast on there as well. You can see I'm a bearded guy. You guys can't see Pops. He's behind the production, but you see him on our other shows. He also a bearded man. We have a really awesome sponsor, Mythical Beards. You can check them out on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter. If you guys need beards, beard balms, if you guys need oils, they even do solid colognes. They have all these different great smells. There's one in particular that's really popular. It's the Cyclops smell. It's like a pecan smell. So that's a really popular one that's going on now. And I believe they actually just released a new scent. So you want to go check them out. Big shout out to Gray Feather Farm. We have a little bit of the we were showing Damani the crack attack, right? He laughed right away, but Gray Feather Farm, right? We have some of their product here. You're going to want to go to our website, saywhatyourwillradio.com. We have a sponsors tab. It's going to take you right over to Gray Feather's site. It's going to show you all their products. Okay. I appreciate that. You put me back on camera there for a minute. But yeah, so Crack Attack. It's a cream. It's for everything. You got ashy elbows, crack, broken, any type of skin like that. You're going to need to get on that. It's awesome. It works super efficiently. Pops uses it every day.
If you're in Arizona, definitely.
You have to. That dry skin because the heat, man. It's different. It is different. And then we got to give a big shout out. Okay, and you might laugh at this one. This is our fun sponsor.
Can't wait.
This is Ranger Rob. Okay, Ranger Rob. He runs Good Talk Radio. This is his pet poopy bags, man.
Okay.
They are lemon scented, biodegradable, extra long handles. You got to get them on Amazon. They have free shipping on Amazon if you go through there. You can also go to saywhatyourradio.com. Go to our sponsors tab. All right, get that out of here.
30 game. 3rd down and 9. 8 drop into coverage. 3 get pressure and sack Boykin back at the 33. It's Mosby again, and the punt team comes out for the Frogs.
All right, so I got to pick your brain on the video a little bit.
I love
Okay, Pops put that together.
It was dope.
What's it like going back seeing some of the old stuff he was doing? Because you were doing a lot of Kansas, man.
It was cool. I mean, as far as like the memories, I mean, I'm kind of moved past Kansas,
Yeah.
and all stuff like that. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Great time. I miss college.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I miss college so much.
Yeah, it
More than high school.
really.
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, see, most people are the other way. Most people say high school
I
ball.
don't understand it. Man.
Really?
I don't understand it.
Wow.
Look, man, it's the first time you're in a bubble. You're still in a bubble, but you still can do what you want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, outside of the framework of being a student athlete, it's a little bit different story. But
Right.
nonetheless, your weekends,
Right.
the breaks,
Yeah,
know what I'm
you
saying? It's on you.
Travel the country pretty
You know what I'm
much,
saying?
man.
You can't do that in high school. At least I couldn't. I don't know
Nah,
about anybody else.
Hell yeah, you wouldn't let me go nowhere. What? But
Yeah, man.
so I'm gonna pick some fun questions for you now. Okay.
For sure. Okay.
So I like to do this. I did this with Joey. We did this with Daniel Buchanan. Every athlete kind of has a pregame ritual, right? Okay. And it doesn't even necessarily look the same, but do you have a pregame meal you used to eat?
A pregame meal?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't have. There was no pregame meal.
No specific.
No, there was no religiously. I have to eat this or that. It was just let's go play.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Did you have a pregame warm up playlist?
Yeah, I definitely made a playlist.
Okay. Who's on the playlist? Give me 2 people.
What time? What were we talking? Were we talking about high school? Or we talking about
Let's go JUCO because that's a happy medium.
Oh, that was it was Drake for sure. Which album was that?
Let's see, because you were in JUCO, what, 13, 14?
Yeah.
Oh man,
It was
that's not. If you're reading this, it's already too late, is it?
there it is.
There you
No,
go.
no.
Because that's
Not
15.
that one. No.
Yeah, that was 15.
It was the one Pound Cake. Pound Cake was the biggest one.
Oh,
Nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same. I love that album. Yes, I was in school with that
It was
too.
on repeat.
Oh, for sure.
JUCO, that was on repeat. I think anything
Give me a
else-
track off that. Tuscan Leather, right? Connect, something
Pound
like
Cake.
that. Yeah, Pound Cake was your one.
Pound Cake,
on
man,
period.
with Jay-Z.
Oh man,
Listen, cake. Oh man,
Hey.
listen, bro. I'll give you lit. And then at that same year, it was Big Sean as well. He came out with I forgot the album, but
oh, that was
Listen.
Paradise.
was it?
I think it was
I
Paradise.
think
at
it was
that
the
same
green cover or something like a
Or was that
bluish or green
Detroit?
cover. No, it wasn't Detroit. Detroit was when I was in college, or I was in Kansas with Detroit.
Man, I'm gonna have to go back and look.
I forgot the name of the song, but he had a song with Young Jeezy on that album. and that was it.
That was your anthem?
It had to be played
For
before it went out.
sure. Okay.
Fun fact though too, I'm gonna tell you this, okay? And listen, a lot of people know this.
Okay, putting some knowledge out there.
I am a big dubstep guy too.
Really?
No, it's not dubstep. It's dubstep. It was dubstep, but it was a lot of I can't remember.
Like EDM stuff?
EDM. There you go.
Wow.
It was EDM. It's like
I never would have taken you for that.
It is the high tempo, the thump, you know what I'm saying? Like it gets me there.
Really?
And credit to Rayshawn Bogan. That's my dog.
Shout out Rayshawn.
That's all he listened to.
It's EDM.
Right. That's like my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm always around him. He's always playing that. And eventually, look, even if you don't like it,
eventually
you know what I'm saying? It wasn't
you.
until I moved out here to Arizona that I even like thought about listening to country music.
Right.
But Joey and all these everybody that I went to high school with is Coach Hathcock. It's all this country around me. You know what I'm saying? So you learn to tolerate it.
Right.
You know
At least tolerate,
it's
right.
the same thing with Rashawn. He played a lot of EDM and dubstep around me, man. It got catchy. And
right.
I had to play it.
And now it's EDM, huh?
Seriously, man.
Man, that's great. Okay. Well, man, I didn't think you was listening to EDM. I know guys, and I don't get it. I know guys that warm up to country. I know guys that warm up to jazz. Like, I just don't get that. Like, I don't know. You're about to go smack somebody's head off.
Some people need that calmness, though.
That's true.
There's some maniacs out there that they need their energy needs to be like caged for a little bit.
Joey talked about how he explained some of his craziness, like playing kickoff and some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a certain type of cat, man.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really be a certain type of dude.
No, seriously.
All right. So, growing up, did you have a favorite player?
A favorite ball player? Not really a favorite ball player, but I did have a favorite team.
Okay.
And it was the St. Louis Rams.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Any particular reason why? Dad liked them? Any
uncle?
Okay.
My uncle liked them, and that was like really the first time I was introduced to football as a whole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you would like as a little kid, you know, they play with any ball, you know, the ball, they throw it back. You know
right. Automatically, right.
Right. Whatever. It would be a football, but I didn't really, click.
And I like how you put that. That's the simplest, like most purest form of how sports starts. Like I'm going to pick this up and throw it to you. You throw it back to me. I like that. I like that.
It's that. But it wasn't until, I don't know, we were watching the Rams back when it was Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt,
Marshall Faulk,
Orlando Pace.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm telling you, man, that was my team, man.
Aeneas Williams, yeah.
And then, I mean, over the years, too, my favorite teams kind of changed, too.
Yeah.
When I was in early high school, it was the Colts.
Okay. I mean, that was, they were doing
like with Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Edgar James, all those guys.
Marvin, one of the best route runners ever.
Stop playing, man.
Yeah, man, it's so nasty.
Yeah, man, as far as his favorite player, though, I didn't really have a favorite player.
Okay, because I know especially like defensive guys, like it seems to be like when you play defense, there seems to be somebody that's like, you know what I mean? Like there just seems to be like a relation with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Well, okay, so was there anybody that you were like, okay, I watched their game a lot?
Specifically, no.
Okay.
I did it with everybody, though.
Oh, you just, all of them.
Right. My dad is a really smart dude. And
shout out Dad.
Shout out Pops for sure. He told me if I really wanted to be serious about football, that I need to start studying the game. And he was telling me about like what separates people a lot. You know, if you have talent, it's IQ. Right. You know what I'm saying? And start modeling your game after somebody or just really paying attention to certain things and don't just watch the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was at that time, and this was at high school though.
Yeah.
Because fun fact, I didn't start playing tackle football until my freshman year of high school.
Which is wild to me. So like, was that just a decision one day? Was it just like I'm gonna go play ball?
I'm telling all my secrets now. Listen, man.
I'm telling you, I want all of it.
My very first time playing my very first time playing football, organized team sports, was in 4th grade. Okay.
Wow.
I was living with my mother in Arizona. In Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And I was a very overweight child. Okay.
Hey.
And at the time, she was seeing somebody who was a coach on a Pop Warner team.
Okay.
I went out to I went out to one practice, and I remember I hated it.
Wait, he run you or what?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just
right.
It's a different culture of football down there in the South.
I mean you're in Georgia.
Don't even get started. But I remember hating it. And we're on our way home from that practice, and she asked me, "Do I want to do this?" And I said no.
Hell no.
I said no.
I said,
Right.
Mom,
I said no.
this is the
and
worst thing.
I just started playing basketball after that.
Oh, okay.
I said, but it wasn't even still just no organized season sports with that. It was just messing around, playing basketball around the neighborhood. And
Got
things like
you.
that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I don't know not my sophomore, but I was in middle school, my 6th grade year. I was out here. I moved out here. I was at Desert Ridge Junior.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
6th and 7th. I'm sorry, 7th and 8th grade.
Right.
And my dad put me in wrestling.
Wow,
And
that's
I lost that weight.
Right.
Playing with wrestling, I lost that weight. Fun fact, I was behind Joey.
Yep. Everybody was behind Joey at that point.
No,
In
no,
junior high was going crazy.
Me and Joey was in the same weight class.
Man. Oh, so you wrestled in his weight class in junior high?
Yeah, it was like 156.
Man, yeah, because wasn't his 8th grade year? Didn't he go to like state competitions in junior high?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in high school too?
He got first place or something like that for like that varsity way. I got first place in JV.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, bro.
That's crazy. What a turnaround.
Look who I had to compete against.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What about with the luck? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But either way, though, I lost that weight and then boom, I moved back to Atlanta my freshman year. First tackle football.
Right.
And that itself was a whole experience. And we can talk about that if you want to. That's
absolutely.
It's nuts.
Absolutely. So like, are you just saying like different because obviously the culture is different. And I try to explain that because like I was born on the East Coast. We moved out here in 2005. I was like already 11. So, you know, I got to see a little bit of that. And it's a different world.
That's football's everything down there.
Yeah. It's a different world.
It's football. The culture in football in Georgia alone, man, it's heavy.
Religious.
It's real. It's very religious.
Right.
It's really, really religious.
Yeah.
And I remember my freshman year, you know, when you were at Desert Ridge Junior, we were playing flag football.
Oh man.
Seriously, like, do you remember? Like,
yeah, because we had purple and green,
right.
The little
flag football was the extent.
That was
at Desert Ridge Junior.
That was it.
I participated in that. It was fine, right? It was fun. Everybody had a good time, right?
Because it was co-ed.
I take my ass to Georgia.
Oh God!
And start playing. Okay,
you go from co-ed flag football to Georgia ball in high school.
Listen, MLK, Martin Luther King Junior High School.
Oh man,
Martin Luther King High School. Listen, man, I start this year, and we're in the weight room, and I'm lifting with some freaks, bro.
Some
freaks, but this is like the first taste of like being like everything that goes into a football program,
right?
As far as the weightlifting and everything, all the practices and the films and all that stuff like that.
Yeah,
none of that was a part of my world before that,
right?
So it was a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot to take in.
It is overwhelming. You're going to multiple film sessions, multiple weight rooms a day. You know, and
even just the way that they did all that stuff, especially in the weight room. It was like real grimy, gritty, in a positive way.
No, right, for sure. Yeah, grind. Yeah,
like literal, like the term that I have of dogs, I got it from there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it stuck with me from there. That team specifically, loaded with NFL talent that's still playing or that played to this day. Mac Brown.
Man,
receiver. Not receiver. A running back.
Yeah, I would say he played running back. Yep,
played running back. Played at Florida.
Yep,
and then he went to. He was at the Vikings for a little bit. The Raiders for a little bit. Joe Everett that plays right now. He still plays for the Rams. We were in the same class. We played together.
Holy cow.
Kevin Byard, the starting safety for the 10.
You're talking Pro Bowls. Yeah.
No, man. Yeah. We were in the same class. That's all those guys. A lot. Let alone. Let's not forget all the guys who went to Tennessee, who went to Kentucky, who obviously didn't play in the NFL.
Right, but still, they're all going D1.
They went to Ole Miss. They went
SEC
to Georgia,
ball.
You know what I'm saying? So that was my first taste of real football. So when I came back here, after that, okay, we could do this.
Yeah.
You know
this is doable.
Right.
Halfcock, you're a lot, but bro, that's different.
It was. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed to experience that because that really set the tone for my whole playing career.
I'm so glad you said that because that's what I was going to ask. Is that 1 year seemed to kind of change? There's a good question. Justin Eden says, "What was your highest bench press in college?"
In college,
what do you think your max was? I mean, obviously there's difference. 1 rep, 3 rep.
Oh, I never was a heavy bench guy.
Yeah,
never was. I think the highest was like 335, 340.
He said, "I was never a high." I mean, I forget you're a D1 athlete, right? But still, dude, you got to realize 330 pounds, bro.
1 rep. And we're talking about
No, and see, that's
12.
the mental of Big 12. I play D1 ball. To you, that's regular.
I understand it, right?
That's
I understand the
not
discrepancy of
regular,
like
bro.
what people like what somebody like that was a part
Right.
of that. Even it doesn't even have to be at that level, bro. Any football player that played college,
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that is it. I see what you're saying.
as a defensive lineman too.
Agreed. I
Listen,
see what you're saying.
okay.
I do. I feel you.
We here with it,
But you're still, you gotta
you
realize
gotta be
that.
here with it, man.
And that's why I like this show, okay? Because I want real people that aren't a part of the world
I love it.
to get that view. Because, like, you know, to me, I've seen guys live 330, but bro, you gotta realize for regular people, that's woo.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, man.
It's not that good, really.
Oh.
It really wasn't that good.
So
Definitely wasn't the highest on my team.
I appreciate the question, Justin. So you go to MCC, right? We were talking about that before the break. You're playing for Coach Felker,
Yes.
okay, which is insane because that dude's coached how many great athletes, which you were on that list,
Yes.
right? I'm especially like,
Thank you,
of-
by the way.
of course, because dude, what you were doing was nuts. I want to say your second season, didn't you have like 7.5 sacks that season?
Yeah, and I missed the first 2 games.
And you missed the first 2
And
games.
that's not that good either.
See,
That's not a good year.
all right, now you're playing with
By
me.
the way, I mean, if we're talking about like high school as far as sacks, we're talking about like just
Stats,
doing
right?
something.
Okay.
Right? I had 16
I know,
at Desert Ridge.
insane.
And half the year I only played the first half.
Yep,
And I still
insane.
to this day. And look, shout out what's his face? Jason Harris. One of the Harris brothers
Yeah,
that broke the record while I was here. And I go back and talk to Jackson all the time, like, what Jackson? Hindsight, you know what I'm saying? You guys played a lot of those games the whole way through.
yeah, and you, I mean,
Yeah,
you were
I mean,
doing dumb stuff.
We know what that team was about.
It was-
so like,
and that's
offensively speaking, especially.
especially
It wasn't
and,
a contest after
No.
that time.
and that's the thing is like, you know, that's why I wanted to get so many of you guys in here is because people really don't understand just how special that unit was. It
Mhm.
was really special for you guys all just to so happen to come together in different walks of life. It was just insane.
Yeah.
But so, you know, when
JUCO.
when you get to MCC, right? Did you have, you know, why there? Of all the JUCOs reaching out to you, why was it just home
It was
or
the closest.
yeah,
It was the closest.
Just
If
flat out.
If Chandler Gilbert had a football team, I would have went there because it's closer to the MCC.
really?
Seriously, man.
You didn't even consider
afford
the Felker or
couldn't afford to stay anywhere else.
okay.
Couldn't do the the apartment thing.
Yeah.
With, having a bunch of guys staying in an apartment complex. I wasn't going to get a job during football season.
Yeah.
I just wasn't.
It's
It just wasn't.
different.
But I was blessed though to have, and I stayed with my dad.
Yeah.
Stayed at the same place I stayed in high school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll just go 30 minutes up the road and go to practice. You know what I'm saying?
So people don't really get the transition because, you know, JUCO is viewed, especially like when it was regular out here in Arizona before they canceled and all that,
Still upset about that.
which is insane. And I'm so glad you brought that up because that just, it's an atrocity. Think of what it did for you. Think of what it did for a bunch of the guys that were around you. It changed things, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think if you didn't have
That's the
JUCO, you would have
least.
wound up in that same path?
No.
Yeah.
No, I needed JUCO.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And how many people do you know that do? A ton.
A very great
A large amount,
Yeah.
right? And so, you know, having that experience of, okay, you know, you made the comment, hey, I'm just going up the road. It was the closest, right?
Mhm.
But do you think being with Coach Felker and being with some of those coaches that MCC had, do you think that kind of took your game to that next level? Or do you think it was more of a platform for you?
It was more of a platform.
Okay.
I mean, let's keep it real. I just wanted to be somewhere that's going to, that allow me to play and have stayed close to home. And I do. I mean, Coach Felker sold the job to me, the place to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He came in, recruited me. He came in, we talked about it, and it's still a great place.
Yeah.
It was a great place.
Right.
It is a great place. But like Coach Jones, the defensive coordinator, really was like the person who
That was the
kept me
guy that
there.
came to you.
Right. He was the one that kept me there because my freshman year at MCC
Mhm.
wasn't good at all.
Okay.
So I mean, if you looked up the stats in my senior or my sophomore year,
Which I did. Yeah.
there was nothing. There's nothing my freshman year, right?
It's much more dramatic. Yeah. For your freshman year, right.
There was
Absolutely.
nothing my freshman year.
Right.
I should have redshirted my freshman year. Honestly, we had a defensive line coach who to this day, and just no ill will, but like dude didn't like me. I didn't like him.
Yeah.
You know,
Sometimes that happens.
It happens, but it was the reason why it happened is because he was a very biased person. He was a very biased person. He was a Southern guy. He played in the NFL. He was a Southern guy who really he liked guys who were part of his background.
Gotcha. So
You know
he's
what I'm
just
saying?
particular. Yeah.
He was particular with the people that he was in, and I felt like at some point it was past just a playing standpoint.
Yeah.
It was a personal thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Almost like a political thing.
Gotcha.
And we didn't rock. We just didn't rock because I'm like, listen, do you know what I did last year? Like, let me prove it. Let me play.
Like I got 16 and a half sacks last year. At least let me spin. Like, give me an opportunity. If I'm doing wrong, that's different. But man, so
there was a moment though. I was almost going to leave.
Really?
I was going to go to Scottsdale.
Oh, you were going to go up to SEC? Yeah, I had a bunch of people. I have a couple guys on the semi-pro team that played at Scottsdale. So you said Coach Jones was kind of what kept you there. Was it a conversation? What was that about?
He let the guy go.
Wow.
It wasn't because of me though.
No, of course. But there's factors. Yeah, there's factors, right?
No, yeah. Anybody watching this wasn't. I'm not. There's no.
He's not flexing. I didn't get the guy.
There was not. I ain't get the guy fired or anything, man. All I know is they told me like he's not returning, so it made it easier for me to stay there. And then they brought in a guy, Coach McGyver, rest in peace. Coach McGyver, he's not with us anymore, but he was a great guy. He was a great coach.
Yeah.
And he kind of let us play.
And he's like, yeah, best man on. Right.
Right.
Man. And that's how it should be. And there's so many poor coaches out there and guys that are biased, and guys that are unwilling to, kind of just be adaptable and play best man forward. They have preferences and have favorites. Right. So
no, they do.
100%. Great question from Justin and a little shout out to Logan.
Let me see here. Justin said, what was it like chasing down a QB? Logan, you still the best. Oh my gosh. All right. Look, man, those were a couple years ago. A couple 100 pounds ago.
And Logan was out there slinging that rock, man. What's going on?
Hey, back in the day, man. You know what's funny is when we were in high school, my freshman year, obviously I'd never played ball before either. I grew up playing baseball. And so I tried. I played for that 1 year and then wound up not playing anymore. I spent more time playing the summer after I stopped playing football than I did the entire time with Desert Ridge.
Really?
Which was crazy. I did a lot of training and stuff like that. And so I just went and did, I even had you for the flag for a little bit for 1 or 2 months. But
I can't even help out a little
man.
bit,
But that's one of the questions I want to ask you too. Okay. And we are going to jump ahead a little bit here. Do you have a favorite or a play at any level that is most memorable to you?
Most memorable?
Yeah.
No, man. I honestly don't. And I'm sorry if that's like
how dare you?
It's like a vibe killer or anything like that.
No, you know what's funny?
All that stuff,
same thing with Joey.
All that stuff really is all together.
Yeah.
It's all one big blur of playing and things like that. I don't even watch film or highlights. That stuff that you guys have at that video, I haven't seen any those videos. I don't watch that type of stuff, man.
Wow. So is there a reason? Is it just like man, didn't quite go the way I wanted, or it's just like, yeah, I'm good now? Or
it's kind of, some people have to let things go to be able to move on.
Gotcha.
I gotta be able to move on, man.
Yeah.
And whether it's resentment and at whoever or whatever, or even myself, you know what I'm saying, as far as not being able to continue to live the dream that you wanted to do or do the things that you want to do.
Right.
You just kind of, have to let it go. And if you really want to, be self-sufficient and just handle your business
for sure.
And, just be an adult.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like at some point you got to start, your focus has to be somewhere else.
Right.
So keeping all those or paying attention to all those things that I did in the past, man, that's not helping.
I definitely respect that. Justin said, did you play with or against any player that's in the NFL now? Justin, he played with so many, bro.
Listen, man,
a stack of them.
I'm not going to go over a list. There's favorite games.
Okay,
I will
give me that. Give me a favorite game.
My favorite, besides the game that we beat Texas,
right, which was insane,
right? Yeah, absolutely. Going to Norman to play Oklahoma.
Wow,
it's a big time. It was a big thing because they had us for their homecoming,
right?
So that stadium was packed,
and that was Baker
Mayfield.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield. Orlando Brown,
Dave,
Joe Mixon.
did they have Sterling
all those
Shepard
guys.
at that time? Yeah, all that.
I think it's all.
Man,
I'll tell you, the
bunch of
three guys I
studs.
named were the three guys I was readily. I had to
Right, on film.
Take a chair.
Joe Mixon, Baker.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. And even the Texas day that we played, the one that we won, Connor Williams there.
Yeah,
you know
insane.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Damn,
It wasn't Ellinger. It was Buechel or something like that. Their
Buechel.
quarterback. Yeah,
man, poor guy.
man. Fool.
No, what's the running back? The running back that played for the Texans.
For the Longhorns. Donta. He went to the
Foreman.
Yeah, there you go, Donta Foreman. Yeah, because he went to the Houston Texans. I think he's with the Titans or something now.
Listen, whoever asked that, listen. Played with a lot of
them. I'll say you played a lot
Paxton
of guys.
Lynch, those guys. I mean, just as far as noticeable names,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were playing guys. Tony Pollard. I mean, your list is long and massive because you were playing Big 12 ball. I mean, that's big time ball.
Tyreek Hill.
That's
Tyreek Hill when he was at Oklahoma State,
right?
Before he got in trouble.
Yeah, right. For a blip. Wow. Oh yeah. So good shout out there, Pops. We are at the 55-minute mark, so that does mean for those of you that are watching on Good Talk Radio on our simulcast, we're going to go ahead and end that part of the show, and bam, and we're back for the remaining part of the show. So if you're still watching, I appreciate you tuning in. We have a former teammate.
What just happened?
So that part of our simulcast we had to end, but it's simulcast is basically we have another channel that shows our show as well as we're live.
Okay.
So yeah, that part of it's ended. But we have a former teammate shout out to you here.
Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and let you read that.
Pezzy!
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
So yeah, that's the man there. So we just saw him 2 weeks ago too.
I am very glad I stuck with defense.
Yeah.
Very glad. Well, I mean, to be honest, playing receiver in high school was dope because, it's a size thing more than anything.
Yeah, and you were size dominant at that point.
Yeah, I mean, just grab the ball. If you're stronger than the guy, I mean,
which all the time you were.
In some cases,
I'm gonna let you. You can keep playing modest and humble. I'm gonna say all the things for you. You were out there dogging people
in some choice situations. Yeah,
choice situations. That is the most humble.
Yeah, you're stronger than a few people.
Few,
you know what I'm saying?
A few of the 5'3" corners.
Parker throws a great ball.
Parker does throw a good ball.
He throws a great ball. It makes it easy to catch.
Right.
And strong hands.
Shoot.
Grab the thing and then do what you gotta do.
That is, I love how simple you make things sometimes.
That's what
Parker throws a good ball. I just grab it and then that's the end.
Right. But as far as Pezzy's question though, like I only played receiver like the first half of the year. My freshman, my senior year in high school. I was not conditioned enough
to all game.
So like
be running nines.
As a matter of fact, the Westwood game, not Westwood, it was the Mesa game, Rose. After that game, and actually did really well that game, a receiver. Yeah. After that game, coach was like, "No, we're just gonna keep you on defense."
Like, thank God.
It's taking away from your defense, like the reps, your defensive reps, like having to go out and stuff like that. So I was one of the lucky ones.
Yeah,
I was not mad at them for doing
no.
That
you're like, here we go, we're good. Like, solid.
The team was bigger than the junior year. We had a lot more guys out there, but still, we're still on kickoff. We're still on our offensive defense. We never don't leave the field thing.
Insane. You guys were playing all three ways basically. That was nuts.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about it in college,
man. Yeah, no. In college, how many people would you say at like springtime? You were 90 deep? Because those D1 programs, they pack out between spring and then they cut down crazy for summer.
Yeah, if I were to guess, it was around that, maybe even more.
Insane. That is insane. So we talked a little bit about your favorite game. Shoot, yeah, you played in some
the atmosphere. Is Texas and Oklahoma were the best stadiums to play at. Were my favorite stadiums to play at.
Texas and Oklahoma,
huge stadiums, NFL stadiums.
Yeah, they sit 60, 80,000, something like that.
3 levels. Texas has 3 levels, without a doubt. I walked in there. It's like I thought I was playing like a state championship game,
right?
Or we're in Phoenix Stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's right. So what he's referencing is back in 2010, your junior season in high school. You guys went and competed against Hamilton High School for the state title, and they placed you guys at Cardinal Stadium. That was insane. I remember that.
Yeah, they placed an early.
Man, that was wild. But he said, "Who's your biggest inspiration on the field and family?" Question from Jacob Thompson.
Biggest inspiration on the field.
Was there a teammate, a coach, somebody that drove you?
Inspiration? I mean, besides Jerry.
Yeah.
If everybody knows Jerry, Jerry was the heart and soul of that team.
If you guys are watching, you're going to go on YouTube right now as soon as this is done. Okay, just save a separate tab. You're going to look up Jerry O'Toole, Desert Ridge High School. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Jerry O'Toole. He actually, every once in a while, I'll get a message from him. Hey, what's up, bud? He's so funny, dude.
Yeah,
just right out of the blue. He just thinks of everybody. He's so great like that. But Jerry's such a good-hearted dude. But yeah, that's a great one.
Right. I mean, inspiration, yes.
Yeah.
He embodies inspiration as far as just keeping a very positive outlook.
Always positive.
He embodies inspiration for me personally. But as far as family, man, I can't name one. Everybody in my family works hard. Everybody in my family sets good examples. It's
the collective atmosphere that drives you.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was
Jerry Bones. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But man, JP, man, Joe, I hope you're doing good, bro. I really do.
Yeah, man. That wow. Taking it back a little bit there, but man, yeah. So now you're at Kansas. Okay. Yes. So when you were at MCC, okay, did Kansas reach out to you? How did you kind of find out about that's how you were going to wind up there?
Coach Blasco, Jeff Blasco was in charge of, as far as he was my recruiter.
Okay.
Coming out of Kansas. And at the time, I still didn't have my shit together. With school.
Right.
Now we talked about like the problems in high school as far as not doing homework.
Yep.
Now I'm an 18-year-old kid, not having to worry about really like the rules of the house and what I have to do are extremely lax, almost non-existent. I can really, like my dad, after my graduation, my dad's like, "You're a man now. Be real. There's risk to everything.
Yeah.
Tread lightly." You know what I'm saying? That's literally on the way home after graduation. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what the conversation was.
The conversation was, hey, just be good. Right.
JC.
Oh man. Oh, he's on YouTube. I was like, wait a second. Did he just make a Facebook account to watch this? I was like, oh my goodness. But
love you, Joey. Hey, I'm gonna call you after this, Joey.
You man.
Anyways, I didn't have my stuff academically together.
Right.
I still now it's a matter of now I have to go to class now. I have to figure out how to get to class.
Right.
And now
on your own. That's just different.
Oh, you telling me I don't have to go? Like, you know what I'm saying?
There's no professor gonna check your name at the door. Right. Nobody,
and
right?
Here's also more pitfalls about it, right? So you don't have somebody telling you go to class. You don't have a in a lot of cases, obviously, people are different, but you don't have somebody like, hey, hurry up, get ready for the gate or get ready for the bus. Go to, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have like a structure like high school where, hey, keep everybody in the school. There's gates around, yada, yada.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's free.
You're there 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? No.
You can walk off campus. You disappear.
College, you can walk up in the middle of a class and leave. Nobody will say anything to you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So if you don't go to class, nobody is going to
question or
you know what I'm saying?
They're not following up with you.
A lot of times people don't even know unless you have a class. If we're talking about athletics, if you don't have a class with a teammate, nobody knows you didn't go to class.
Right.
In JUCO.
Right.
In JUCO. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, in college, right.
It's a little bit different in college. But in JUCO, so so that happens a numerous amount of times, right? The first step of like a consequence is when you get dropped out of that class,
which is crazy because that's the ultimate consequence at the same time.
You're lucky if a professor emails you and says, hey, you missed a lot of these classes, what's going on or whatever. A lot of cases they'll just drop you.
Yeah, they don't even say anything.
Man, they don't care.
And in junior college, they don't care that you're an athlete.
The school doesn't even care. You've already paid your money.
Yeah, you're there
for that class.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't finish that class, buddy, that is on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, you don't go to class, you get dropped out of a class, there's a certain amount of credits you have to be in order to be eligible to play. You know what I'm saying? And this is the biggest pitfall when it comes to junior college because guys can't do that.
Right.
Whether it's the discipline thing or maybe the academic thing where they don't have the resources to help them get through these classes that might be hard if they have struggled, like if they struggle, holding on to certain information or just getting information. a lot of JUCOs don't have the resources like tutoring or anything like that to be able to help these guys out, at least strongly.
Right.
And if anything, they definitely don't have the means or the the authority to make you go do these things either.
Yeah, and so it's not only just that, like you said, the unbridled freedom.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only that, it's the, okay, even let's say I wanted to do this, but I'm not doing well, I'm not getting help either.
Right. You have to be a disciplined person
Yeah.
to be in JUCO.
Right.
You just have to. There's a lot of guys that go the JUCO route that can play, that should be playing at a 4-year institution. But there's a reason why they're there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you really just split in half. It's honestly guys who can play, can't get it together in class, and the guys who need the extra year
to be able to get it together on the field.
Right. To be able to do that. Right. Majority of them, though, is you need to get together in class in order to do so.
It's the academic side.
But there's no structure when it comes to the academic side. So yeah, you say, and this is like the worst case scenarios too, and it happens a lot. A guy comes from out of town or out of state. He goes to this college, so and so, takes out FAFSA, or he applies for FAFSA. He gets financial aid, and his requirement when you have financial aid, hey, you have to be able to keep this certain GPA.
Yeah, you have to be certain GPA, and I believe it's a certain credit count too, isn't it? You have to be full-time 12.
Absolutely, something like that.
Right.
And okay, you go out there, and then you have those discipline issues. You don't go to class. You get dropped out of these classes. You're in another state. You get this financial aid that is giving you the money in order to stay somewhere.
Right.
Or maybe just pay for classes, and you still have to get a job in order to pay to stay somewhere. There's a lot of guys that I know, even me sometimes, when, there's certain periods in my time where I wasn't staying at home, and, we're on couches. There's a lot of guys in this house that's asleep, you know what I'm saying? As far as, right next to work availability.
Yeah.
Right down the street from the school. And then that's the only way I'll be able to get to school if I do this.
Right. If I stay here. Right.
Exactly. And, you fail these classes. And then your GPA drops behind that level or under that level. Your FAFSA's gone, buddy. How you gonna stay there? And in some cases, guys are stuck in that state. Luckily, I mean, and I haven't seen too many situations where that does happen. I know people that's happened to, but a lot of times they have to go back home, and then their dream is gone.
Just like that.
It's just like that.
And so do you think that that's something that, because obviously junior college is eliminated here in Arizona now. It's coming back. It's a little more non-traditional. It's not the same JUCO you were a part of, not by any means, because Coach Felker is actually coaching again. At Gila.
Gila.
And so, because I actually have a semi-pro coach that I work with that's going to be coaching with them too. But do you think that's something that, was there just like a moment that you were like, okay, Kansas and people like this are reaching out. I could do this. I just got to buckle down, or like, what kind of was it that?
No, that guy, Jeff Blasco.
Yeah.
he this is what Coach did. All right. So I didn't want to make the same mistake that I did last time, because and last time I didn't commit anywhere before all that stuff happened.
Oh, wow.
Right. So at the time, I can't remember at what part of this timeline, but at the time I had maybe like 5 offers: Kansas, North Texas, Hawaii, ASU, and a few others. Right.
Right.
And I was like, I need to commit somewhere. I should commit
pick
somewhere.
one.
And out of all those schools, Kansas was the only one that's showing the most love. I reached out to a few schools and tried to set up official visits. And a lot of them, they was really like dragging ass, honestly.
Oh, so they wasn't really serious. It was kind of more like a preliminary. Hey, it's out there.
Yeah, let me, get back to you, all the stuff like that. Like, all right, whatever. And Kansas was the only one that really went. So we set up the OV and we went out there. I had a great time. Really, really great time.
I'm gonna let you stay mum on that one. Right?
I appreciate that. It was a good time. No, it was a good time. A nice wholesome fun. But
he said wholesome fun. That's fantastic. So let me just ask this. We won't get too into it. Was there a moment that you were on campus that you were like, okay, this is where, because obviously they're taking you the most serious, but was there ever kind of like that solidifying moment of like, yeah, I want to be here?
It probably was after the game. No, it was before the game. It was before the game, and it's really simple, man. I remember going they walked aside. This is before this is when they still had the track around the football field, around
Like
the
that?
stadium. Yeah, it's like that.
Like that.
All right, no, that's
He
exactly
said
what
that's
it was.
it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is when they had the track. And,
Right.
I remember walking out, and this is like a couple minutes before the game started, before kickoff, and I remember just looking up at the stadium, all the people and the energy, and to be honest, I mean that was the first really real experience I had in something like that. They were playing Baylor that game.
Wow. So it's
So I
not a small
saw-
game, right?
It wasn't a small game at all. Just to know,
Yeah.
it wasn't a small game, and they didn't do too well either.
Right.
But that says more about the school itself, and still that really didn't matter.
Right. It's because
You know?
you were still like, yeah.
Right. And then after the game, it's still everybody wasn't in the best of spirits, but it was still just
Still a little live
a
and-
good environment.
Yeah.
It was chilly, so it wasn't that cold. So there wasn't any outer elements that were deterring
Affecting
me.
you. It's not like it's freezing like Joey was at Montana. Right.
I heard about that. And poor guy, really, I would to go on a visit in February is nuts. Period.
We talked
I
about
don't care
that.
where it's at. If you go on a visit in February, that is not the right time to do it, buddy. But I mean,
February visits. Note to self, if you're in your recruiting process, February visits are a no-go.
I mean, look, if you're a guy that needs to, finish the season before they focus on that, hey, go by all means. But go to a game.
So that's a great piece of advice. So
take-
you would recommend if you're going on an official visit, go to a game.
Yeah, man. See how the team plays.
Yeah.
See that. I mean, if that matters to you, of course.
Mhm.
See how the crowd is. I mean, see the environment. See the electricity in the stadium, man. Because that's what you're gonna be playing at for the next 4 years, 5 years of your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if it's fun, it's fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know, man. That mattered to me, man.
No, and that's great. And I appreciate you sharing that because that's, such a big piece of it is, that moment that you realize, hey, this is where I'm mortgaging my future at.
Right.
And, was there ever kind of like that second thought of like, okay, maybe they haven't been as competitive or like, anything like that? Or for you, was it really like, no, I feel like this gives me the best chance moving forward?
It was more that it was, when I was there, regardless of how the team played and where the team was at, Charlie Weiss is there. So, regardless of, his tenure at
Right.
the
But
school,
he's still a background and
his background was
Notre
a
Dame
big deal.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And, me personally having to talk with him, by the way, I'll say something in a minute, but
he saw the look in my face. He said,
"Oh man, we had a conversation, and he was telling me about the setup of next year, and it was a lot of opportunities, and it just made it easy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It was a good fit for me.
yeah,
I was in a position, that buck position. I don't know. It was more of a pass rusher position. And
Right.
that was all me. I was a pass rusher.
Right, that was it.
Through thick and thin.
yeah. There's so for those that don't know, that's a position where pretty much they're just sending you every play. That's all you're doing.
And they'll put you in coverage a little bit too, but it's really like
You're going
minor coverages, like
Yeah.
flat or something like
right.
that.
Yeah, flats is different than
Right.
you're not dropping back. Yeah,
maybe
you're
a
not
maybe
hook to
a-
curl every
yeah,
down. Right.
Maybe a hook to curl every now and
Right.
then. But like you said, flats, boom, pick this guy up on a wheel.
Yeah.
That's probably the farthest and hardest extent of doing something in coverage at a
Which-
buck position.
Is far on a wheel route from a DN spot. It can be, especially some of the backs coming out.
Terrible.
Man,
Yeah.
he said terrible.
But yeah, man, it was it made it easy after that.
Okay.
So that was it was. And the funny thing is, I don't know if anybody knows. Like, I don't know what other people's experience are when they finally figure out they want to commit
Uh huh.
to a school.
Yep.
But here is mine.
Okay.
I was at a basketball game. I can't remember whose basketball game it was. It was a friend of mine's,
Mhm.
and this is like not like a college or one. We're literally at like a rec, and it was
Right.
it's like a I don't know, maybe a YMCA game. I can't remember.
Something like just minor league,
I'm
right?
sitting in the stands, and I don't know, man. I can't remember what was going through my mind or anything like that. But I just remember getting up, calling coach, and be like, "Hey, I'm committing."
Wow.
There was no conversation with my mom or dad. I said I'm committing, and that was it. the next few days, it was, this person commits this, the whole 9 about the actual commitment, the verbal commit and all that stuff like that. And that was it. Now, your question though, as far as why it was Kansas and how that ended up happening, once you commit, once you sign, right, they can call you whenever they want.
Yeah, you're on call pretty much.
Right. Coach Blasco, God bless the man. Seriously. Seriously. Because this is not, I don't think I will be able to do this. Coach Blasco called me every single day. I'm not joking. From signing day in February or 14th or something like that, all the way up until I was in Kansas, which was still late in like August. Every single day. How many months is that? Like 5, 6 months?
You said from February to August?
Yeah.
Man, yeah, that's 6 months.
He called me every day for 6 months.
Lord.
He had all of my passwords and logins to all my classes. He had access to everything. He can go in and see if I'd done any homework and if I done my homework and shit like that. He was on me. He made sure of it. Like I said, God bless the man. Seriously.
That's major.
Seriously. And I was lucky. I was very lucky for something like that.
Yeah.
I can't stress it enough. I was very lucky for something like Coach.
Yeah.
Because without him, I would not say that I wouldn't been able to do it.
No, but it was a kind of that push in the back.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it made it much easier for somebody to hold you accountable. Go back to the very first thing, bro, accountability. And that's what kind of added to that, why it's so damn important to me.
Yeah.
Like I coach kids today. Like, accountability is everything. Hold you accountable. Do what you were supposed to do. And I'm gonna hold you accountable to it. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's a very common athlete mindset, is that accountability. But let's be honest, when you think accountability, right, your first thought is on the field.
Right.
You're what is my assignment? What am I, am I doing my correct? Like, there's so many levels to that. But when Hathcock's teaching it, he's teaching it about life. That's not he's trying to let it bleed into everything, right? It's it's on the field, but that also means you get done in the class. And maybe sometimes it takes a coach that cares.
Yeah.
It takes that extra guy who believes in you. So that's major. 6 months of a call every day.
180 days.
Be honest, at some point you were like, all right, bro, I'm not trying to take this call.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like most days.
Oh, absolutely. No, it wasn't most days, but there was definitely days like when I didn't do something.
You're like, oh,
and I know what this call's about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, all right.
Let it ring the voicemail.
Right. No, never.
Read the voicemail transcript.
I always picked up. If I saw it, I always picked up. Man.
Oh man.
I always had. I just couldn't, morally, I was like, man, you can't ignore this guy.
Wow.
What are you doing?
So you go through 6 months of him following you around. You're in Kansas. Talk to me about your first year.
It was very difficult.
How so?
I was and I was very unprepared.
Do you feel like you ever could have been prepared for that? You're transitioning to a Division I 4-year, 5-year school.
The way that Kansas is set up, you could have been there because it's to a certain extent it was my fault because of all the school stuff that I had to do, like summer school that I had to do before I actually got on campus, before I was actually enrolled into the school. Because I don't know how it is, but I would assume in a lot of places they bring in their guys, they're bringing their freshmen early, so they'll have they'll come in and they'll take 2 or 3 classes in June or July during the summer just to get them really acclimated.
Right.
They know it. It's a summer, so everybody's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you find your way around campus, where everything is.
There's that adjustment period, right?
Right.
And all students go through that. But for an athlete, you're adjusting to not only just student life, student and athlete life.
Right.
Right.
What's going on?
You got something for us? Oh, I don't know if you know that tag off rip, but
I do not know who this
man,
is.
but somebody's showing love. But man, the Joey said cold AF. He's talking about his little official visit in February.
Man, Joey.
That's great, bro.
Joey, I know your journey, man. I appreciate it. I respect it.
But man, that cold. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But so
God bless you, bro.
that you're going through this adjustment period, like I said, as a student and as an athlete. Was it like a scheduling thing for you? Was it like a
No, it was everything.
Okay.
It was literally everything. So my situation was, like I said, I still had the discipline issue with school in junior college.
Mhm.
And so
that mental's still there.
I had to catch up though.
Mhm.
I had to catch up. So when I was after this spring semester, I still had 18 credits to do.
You had 18 credits to do in a summer?
Yes.
You did 18 credits?
I took 9 classes between April and July. I took 9 classes. I took 3 in April, or I took 3 in May, 3 in June, 3 in July.
Dear Lord.
All of them fast credit. Shout out to Ria Salado. Holy shit.
Yeah, they do the accelerated programs. That's
Right.
wow.
Ria Salado was the one. That's the way I did it.
You did 18 credits in a span of 4 months.
Here's how, even to take it even deeper, I moved. So like I knew, so to not make the same mistake that I did in high school, because the procrastinating thing, I was hanging out.
Yeah.
So like
chilling.
You're right. I was doing all types of stuff during the summer. You know what I'm saying? Just hanging out with my friends and stuff like that.
Right.
This situation, nobody told me to do this. I decided, okay, I got all this stuff to do. I'm going to move back to Georgia.
Oh wow.
Where I don't have much. I'm not really in. I don't do anything
socially, right?
Socially, yeah. So I'm gonna move to Georgia, and I'm gonna make sure I get all these damn classes done.
That's a big move. Do you think that was kind of a game changer for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all I did was
that's it,
all I
right?
did was with damn classes. Seriously.
So, do you think you would have had that success here?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know. I mean, if you take into consideration Coach Blasco, I mean, he still would have definitely been calling me every day, but there would have been a lot more distractions.
A lot tougher conversations, right?
Right. A lot more distractions and a lot more tougher conversations. And I just don't know. But luckily, we ain't got to really worry about that, right?
Man, it made it through 18 credits in a summer.
So it took me so far. It took me into, I got there after camp, after fall camp.
Wow.
With at Kansas.
Yeah. So you didn't even get your fall camp in.
Right. So I get there the weekend going into the first day of school.
Oh my God.
At Kansas.
So were you even moved into campus or anything?
I moved in. I think we came on a Friday.
You had class on Monday? I
had class on Monday.
No, you did not.
Me and my mom. So we were in Georgia. Me and my mom drove up to
straight through
12 hours up to Kansas, up to Lawrence.
Oh my Georgia. Lord.
And we moved in, and it was the funny thing is, came in on a Friday, they had a scrimmage on Saturday.
Did you scrimmage?
Yes.
You're telling me, okay, so
let me also put this in consideration too. I'm coming off the couch.
You're coming off.
There was so much schoolwork. I didn't do no
workout.
Training. I didn't do any training at all.
Wow.
I came off the couch into a full scrimmage.
Yeah.
And I remember that day so vividly. And if we're talking about low moments too, this was a kind of a low moment as well. There was a lot of low moments that first year, more specifically that first semester. But I remember practicing, right? All new stuff, new cleats. You know what I'm saying? I'm heavy. I'm out of shape.
Which, if people don't know, new cleats alone can end a day. Like, you practice wise, that's your feet bleeding.
It's hot as AF.
Right.
It's hot AF out there. I don't know. I mean, people think of Kansas, people think cold, and people think tornadoes. During the summer, it still gets hot as hell.
Yeah.
It's in the 90s and it's humid. So it still gets hot as hell.
Yeah.
We're on turf. So my feet are cooking in this. And they throw me in the buck. And they throw me in the
so
buck.
You're out there running.
I'm out here. I'm
going every.
Let's keep it real. I'm out there surviving.
Yeah. Right.
I'm surviving.
Yeah. At that point, there's no thrive.
No, yeah. I'm surviving out there, seriously. And then I remember I still don't know anybody. I remember walking. So like that Friday, we were packing, and then they have like a student athlete orientation. That was my very first like experience of anything related
on
to
campus, right?
Right. And I just walk with the rest of the team, and everybody's looking at me like, who the hell is this?
Right. Like, you're not even. Wow.
Right. Yeah. So the next day at this practice, I had a terrible practice. You know what I'm saying? My feet, I had blisters on my feet because the turf is so hot.
And brand new cleats.
And brand new cleats.
Right.
Right. Nobody knows me. Nobody doesn't know me. Or nobody knows me. So like there's no conversations. There's no, hey man, you'll be all right.
Yeah, there's there's none of the normal talk. There's none of the wow.
And to top it all off, I had to walk home since nobody knew me. And just say a little tidbit for anybody that's never been to the University of Kansas's campus. It's literally built on a hill. Oriad Mountain is built on Oriad Mountain. So it's hilly. So I'm walking. I'm taking this hike and it's hills all through that bad boy.
And you're blistered up.
And the stadium isn't close to where we were.
Nah,
it's on the other side of the campus. So I had to walk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was like, bro.
And at that time, they didn't have them little pay to rent a scooter, nothing like that around them campuses.
So like, I mean, people are there, but like, I don't know. I didn't know the bus situation,
right?
Or the bus, how the buses work. I didn't know anything.
That's a huge adjustment, regardless.
Absolutely.
I went to New Mexico State straight out of high school, and I literally spent a whole week there beforehand trying to find out my life. And the first day I had classes, I still was lost.
Man.
And you went through that. You not only went through that, you moved in. A day later, had a full scrimmage with a D1 team that you would know nobody.
And I was out of shape.
Out of shape, off the couch, and just had taken 18 credits. Good for you, bro.
Okay. Let's add a little bit more. Let's turn it up a couple more degrees.
Oh, my gosh.
I remember talking to the academic counselor that was on the football team. We had two of them. One of them was defense. One of us was offense.
Right.
And her name is Stephanie. Right. Hey, Stephanie, if you ever watch this, I love you. But she gives me like a folder, and she does her best in trying to tell me everything, like as far as like the schedule and how to get around campus and all stuff like that. And it's like the day before.
Okay.
Or like the night before. I can't remember. It was before the actual first day of school though. And I just remember looking at the schedule, and it's color coded, and she's telling me about this place where that place is, and this is where this school, like all your classes are in different buildings, and
they're in different colleges, and
this is where this building is on this big ass, this hilly ass campus, and this is how the bus works. And then you also have mandatory this, and you have to be here at this time for practice, and you have to be here at this time. You got to be up at this time and get ready for for workouts in the morning and this and that. And I just remembered, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, what am I doing here?
It's crazy. It was crazy. It was honestly, hindsight, I'm thinking about it, it's literally all this stuff, and they told me sink or swim. And
that's really what it is.
And I sunk for a little bit for sure. I definitely had the same JUCO mentality as far like I didn't go to a lot of my classes.
Yeah.
Fun fact as well. I took so many credits during the summer. They only accept a certain amount of credits in the semester, right?
Right.
So I took 3 credits over the allotted amount.
Right.
So I had the red shirt that year. I had no choice but the red shirt.
Wow.
Which
all
was
because
fine.
of those 3 credits?
Yeah, I took a class, and it wasn't like the class wasn't accepted by Kansas. It's the fact that, bro, you took too many credits.
Too many, yeah.
Too many credits over the semester, man. You're only allotted I think it was like 15 credits that can actually transfer over in one semester. You took 18. Those 3, I mean, so I had to write a bunch of letters and stuff to the NCAA, and then they cleared it. And we talked about MCC, how I played that first year. I really wasted a year. It worked out though.
Yeah,
because I was able to burn a redshirt year. I didn't burn a playing year where I had to sit out and all this stuff like that.
Right. So you were it kind of was a situation where if you had used that first year at MCC, you would have been screwed. I
don't even know if they would have been able to allow me to stay there.
Wow.
I don't know.
So it kind of worked out how it was intended.
It definitely
That's
worked
awesome.
out. But even still,
man. And so how long would you say it took you kind of to adjust? Now,
a semester.
The full semester?
A whole semester, and maybe even a little bit after that.
Yeah.
I remember, like I said, I still had that same JUCO mentality as far as classes. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess I got in so late, so I flew under the radar on a few housekeeping things, like mandatory things. So, like, you heard class checkers before,
yes,
right?
Yep.
So, like, majority of the team has class checkers. I think I flew under the radar since I came in so late. So there were some classes that I did have class checkers. Oh, I didn't go to those classes.
Oh man.
There's so listen, there is between going to class, going to practice, and the strength and conditioning program for red shirts. I was treading water.
Yeah, barely staying.
Damn near drowning. Especially from the physical standpoint, because like I said, I came in out of shape.
Right.
So I'm playing catch up. I'm really playing catch up.
Right.
And I was kind of depressed.
I'm sure.
I was kind of depressed. I didn't want to do nothing. You know, it took me a while to really start making even friends on the team, man.
Yeah.
And let alone like people outside of campus. You know what I'm saying? My roommate, man, God bless him. He was like, bro, you're kind of like a hermit crab. I'm like, bro, I just don't want to do nothing.
You're like, God, you
especially after like Fridays for like the heaviest red shirt. Hey, let's kill these guys before we have to go out of town and play this game. They kill us. The strength and conditioning people would kill us.
Oh my Lord. So now when you're redshirted, do you travel?
No.
Okay.
You don't travel with the team.
Yeah, I would say I didn't think so because most teams travel limits very strict on who you got to even some of the guys that are even not redshirted ain't traveling. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that's wild. So yeah, they're trying to kill you.
Yeah,
they're leaving and you can stay behind and die.
If it's an away game, then we had to be up at 5 a.m. to train, and it gets cold in Kansas pretty quickly going into the season. So October, it's 5 a.m. It's freezing, and the way that Kansas had it set up is there's half. How many have rushers that you have? Half of them, or whoever it falls in the line of, they need to get stronger, go in their weight room, and they kill them in weights.
Wow.
The other half
on the field.
You're outside on the field. So hey, it's 5 a.m. outside. We're running stadiums.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? And they're killing us. You know what I'm saying? And then I needed it. Also that year, and I just remembered this. So I come in, I played JUCO year. My senior year, I was probably 215.
Right.
At the highest.
Wait, hold on, pause. That didn't really register with me. You were 215 at MCC?
Yeah, at MCC my sophomore year, I was probably 215 pounds.
Weren't you playing at like 245 at Kansas?
Okay, let me tell you. I came in after off the couch. I came in like 265.
Really?
Yeah, man. I gained like 50 dead pounds.
Hey, man,
over here.
All you're doing is class.
It was still not okay. It was not okay. And then okay, I don't know, man. I always gain weight hella fast. I don't know. My body's just like that. But anyways, I going through this my first year, my semester, and I get sick. I get like really, really sick for like 3 weeks, like to a month.
Oh wow.
It's like on my nose, like it's like hard. I don't know what the hell it was. It wasn't like a bad sickness, but it felt like I had the cold. I had a cold for like a month.
Oh wow.
And I don't know if it was like an adjustment to the atmosphere or whatever. I don't know.
Maybe.
Bro. I don't know what the hell it was.
You said I don't know, but I was sick.
But I was sick. So I lost so much. I lost like in that week, in that month, I lost probably like 35 pounds.
You lost 35 pounds from being sick? I need to get sick.
So much. No, but listen, man, there was so much running, and I was not eating because it was coming up. Everything I ate, I wasn't able to keep down that much. There was so much running that we were doing, bro.
Gotcha. So that on top of you already.
All that put together. I have a before and after photo I got to show you after this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
Wow.
I was like ripped after that. After
the
going to the spring season, I had abs again. Like I was in high school again. I was like, it was crazy. But yeah, it wasn't until after that freshman semester or that first semester, man, I kind of got into a groove. Everything. I mean, that the red shirt program was over there this season.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got a little chance to breathe. You know what I mean?
So what do we got there, Pop? That's a good question about Joey. Y'all was really running at Desert Ridge, more or less.
So, Joey.
Because he said more when we did his interview.
I know. I'm about to say that, right? Joey, you said a lot of things in that podcast. And a lot of those things were speaking on the entire country. I am not going to say that because we ran like we were a cross country team
Oh man.
at Kansas. And I don't know if Bazzy's still on here, but Bazzy can attest to this. I can't even begin to put into words how much running that we did. Seriously, I can't even put it into words. There was a specific thing that they had our strength and conditioning staff put together. It was called 4 quarters. And I don't even know how to start to express or to explain this monstrosity of
Give us your best shot, because now I gotta know.
of laps and gassers and shit. So, okay, imagine a football. Okay, football field's right there, right?
Bam, right there.
Boom, right there on the screen.
Reference.
Okay, that's where we're running it. That's all. That's where every time we ran, it was around this for 4 quarters, right?
Right.
So that the white around the field,
Yep.
the outline of the field, the white. The offense started in one corner, so like that back corner near the jumbotron. I'm sorry, defense started in that corner. Offense started on the adjacent corner, or not the adjacent corner, but the opposite corner.
Yep.
Okay, they broke it up into 3 groups.
All right.
Big skill, O-line, D-line.
Right.
Okay, so O-line, D-line started first. How it started was you have to do an entire lap around that field, and it's all timed. By the way,
Of course,
Let's keep
naturally,
it-
because
all right,
it's not just at your leisure, right?
we're not in high school anymore.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Joey.
shots.
Joey, they didn't really time us that much here, but they ran us a lot. Joey is not lying as far as how much they ran us at Desert Ridge.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah, you guys were doing sick
And I
stuff.
got to Kansas and they went up them. Me
Wow.
personally. So when Joey said that we ran more in the country,
You're like, nah.
now, Joe, I listen. At Kansas, it was crazy. So the first part of 4 quarters is okay. Run a lap. That's 350 yards.
Yep.
Right, 350 yards. Boom. Right after that, as soon as the last person, and it's never the last person, it's more like midway through the pack. As soon as they cross the line exactly where we started, big skill starts, and they run their lap in this time. O-line and D-line always had, I think, like a minute. No. O-line, D-line, like the D tackles, they had like 63 seconds.
To run the lap?
To run the lap. D ends had like 58, 56 seconds.
Oh, and
To run that lap, right?
And that,
Okay, so and big skill goes, right? And theirs are like, they're like at 52.
right.
Skill goes, they're at like 49, 48.
Oh my
They make that
Lord.
lap, right? Okay, so check me out. After that, it's a full gasser. Down, back on that very field right there.
Right. Oh,
Down, back,
my
Your
Lord.
break is when the other groups are running. So like I said, as soon as midway through the pack, as soon as they cross, that whistle blows, that next group has to go. Okay? As soon as the last skill person finishes that lap, the whistle blows, we start that full gasser down, back as O-line and D-line.
So your break is like 7 seconds.
Something like that, right? Your break is like a minute. It's like
Yeah.
a minute and a half if you like add it together, maybe like a little less than 2 minutes
Wow.
while those other groups are running.
And that's if you do yours in a reasonable time. If you're the last one dragging, it gets shorter. You're saying, like, if you're coming in right
Yeah.
at the cutoff, yeah, that's
No,
man.
for sure. No, for sure. And like I said, it really went, okay, like 59, 58,
Oh,
58,
they're
59,
counting you down.
60, 61. Okay, next group, boom, blow the whistle. So, okay, down, back, we had 47 seconds, 46 seconds. I remember DNs. I can't remember everybody's time, but I remember DNs, 46, 47 seconds to go down, back from sideline to sideline. It's full gasser, okay? Same concept with the next groups, yada, yada. As soon as that last group goes, as soon as the time is over with that, boom, whistle. You have a half gasser, so it's down, back. We got to do that in like 22 seconds.
God.
Oh, Joey.
Oh, Joey got some. Okay, this is good. We're starting controversy. We might have to have a joint podcast, let you guys argue it out. Joey says, all right, let me rebuttal. We ran more in college, but the punishment and type of conditioning was worse in high school.
Joey. Kansas was a different breed. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm not even done explaining this. I'm not even done because there's like a kicker out of all this. Okay, so like, okay, we're at three things now.
You guys have done 350. Then you did a full gasser down, back. Then you did a half gasser down and back.
Down, back. And then once you're done with that half gasser, hurry your ass up. You have to line up on the end zone. You have a 60-yard shuttle. So it's 5 back, 10 back, 15 back. Okay. And like I said, it was all the time that you have from traveling to whatever part that you have to start at,
Right.
and your rest goes into is while the other people are or while the other group is running.
So you're basically at the end running a 60-yard basketball suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Touching that.
All the way up into the 15-yard line.
Right.
Right. And then
he said nothing compared to our running at ASU.
that is Tyler Johnson. I'm not even going to respond to him. Tyler, I'll talk to you after this. I'm not.
He
doing
said,
this.
"I'm not dealing with you right now."
The kicker out of all that, I said all that running.
Right.
That is one quarter.
Oh,
the name
is 4 quarters.
The name of the name of the running is 4 quarters.
Oh. So are you guys repeating that same thing, or does it alter for the other quarters as well?
It repeats.
So you're doing that 4 times.
But they I guess that you could say they have hearts. That gives like 5 minutes after that whole like that
After a quarter?
right after a quarter they give us like
So you have 5 minutes to recover from that 350-yard lap, right? The down back,
put in the numbers.
down back.
It's 350, 200,
Right.
160.
I got a question. Did anybody puke?
Oh,
What?
everybody puked.
I puked.
It's-
No, man. There's no way. There's no. I would want to meet the teammate that tells me that they didn't puke doing that stuff. Seriously, it was.
That's 710 yards put together if my math's right. And I told you I was bad at math. That's 710
hey, one
if
quarter.
my math's right.
One
For
quarter.
1 quarter.
Now, Joey, I don't know. We never did anything like that. And
Yeah.
by the way, like, okay, let's say the head strength man, he's in a bad mood today. Oh, we got overtime.
Oh no.
I wish somebody that was playing in Kansas like is still here, man. Like,
Oh my Lord.
It's nuts, really.
710 in 1 quarter, if I did my math right. And then you got overtime.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm good on all that. I am good on that.
The goal for that at this, like, once the craziness washes over you as far as what the hell we're actually doing, the
Right.
goal is to make all your times.
Right.
I don't think it really ever happened much, like consistently somebody making their time for all damn 4 quarters.
Yeah, that would be insane.
No, seriously, I don't
That
think it was.
because like people don't understand. Like that amount of pounding on your knees alone is insane. Doing that repeatedly. Joey said, "Appreciate it. Every college player. We ran more than you did. Swear."
I get it. No, yeah, he's right. He's
Oh,
right.
man.
But you let me know if you did anything like that in any part of your year or any of your career, man.
Man, they were busy shoveling snow though, so you know.
That I felt like he said something about consequences, man. I felt that was a consequence. I felt like God was like upset at me. Like there's some type of karma that I'm getting.
Why here? Why 4 quarters
Why this? You know what I'm saying? And
in the middle of 90-degree Kansas
they
heat?
made it a like a conditioning test.
Oh, they made it like, oh my God. That was like an elementary when they the president's test.
So we would do that. We would do 4 quarters every Monday. So okay, yeah. So,
You would do that every week?
oh yeah, during the summer.
Oh, I'll say. I was
This
like,
is
during
during-
season? I was like,
so-
there's no way.
Okay, they're not this is Kansas is the devil. Okay, like we're not doing this during the season. No, not at all.
Oh my
Hell no.
Lord. Yeah, you're not making it to Saturday.
No, this is summer training.
Yeah.
So Joey, maybe we are actually kind of on a different level as far as in season running and out of season running. We ran more. I would agree with Joey. We ran more in season as far as training
Really?
at high school than I've ever had.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you in Desert Ridge, you guys were doing a lot, man.
right. No,
like-
we were.
That's wild.
But off season during the summer,
killing it.
It's ridiculous.
Just getting slaughtered. That's insane.
Every Monday. So like, okay, you go off and do whatever you want. Go ahead, have fun on the weekend.
Right.
Just know what you got waiting for you on Monday.
Yeah, you better not do nothing on Sunday. Sunday, you gotta.
I didn't do anything on the weekends.
You said what? I didn't do a thing
I didn't even look forward to the weekends anymore because we had
because I knew Monday was coming.
Yeah, bro. Y'all laughing. I am serious.
No, I want to know how close to you getting there. You said it was like August, right? You got there on Friday, had scrimmage Saturday. How soon was it into you being there? Was the first time you did 4 quarters?
It was the summer, so I was there a full year to when I was there a full year already. So I was there my fall season,
Right.
fall semester and the spring semester.
So, oh man,
and then we
thank
kicked it off.
goodness.
But also what's crazy is that is a new staff came in. So my year, Coach Weiss, he was fired like halfway through the season, right? And to say what I held back on something, right? You
hit
looked
me.
at me about
Yep.
Coach Weiss. I talked to him. That it was like 15 minutes on my official visit. I got on campus. I told you about all this stuff that I was going through when I got on campus.
Yeah,
he didn't say anything to me. He didn't even welcome me on campus.
Really?
I was late. I'm like, I mean, it's pretty. I was as a singular person. It was one thing if everybody's coming on campus at the same time and you might have missed somebody. Bro, I was the very last person to get on campus, and you didn't say anything, and he didn't say anything to me. We never had a conversation.
Really?
Never ever. I did not talk to Charlie Weiss at all,
other than that 15 minutes on your official visit.
On my official visit back in the year before.
Right. Oh my Lord.
So
that's
when he
your
was
head coach.
So when he was fired, I didn't care. I really didn't care. They brought Coach Bowen was the interim, and I love Coach Bowen. But Coach Bowen was the interim, and it was there. Then they brought in Coach Betty the year, and then he brought in his strength staff, and then hello 4 quarters.
Hello 4 quarters, man. Did you have a coach that you kind of?
Coach Blasco left too. So
did he leave? That's what I was going to ask.
He left with that Coach Weiss.
Oh wow, okay.
Man. He was under Coach Weiss when Coach Weiss was at Florida, and I think at Notre Dame as well.
Oh wow, man!
So they were.
No wonder he was so persistent. He knew what to do to get you there, right? Man, good for him. So when you were there, and I know a couple of your guys are watching right now. Did you have a teammate that you spent more time with? We'll put it that way instead of saying had a favorite.
My roommate Anthony Alobia. He was They had the way they set it up, man. We were competing for a spot, on the team.
Oh wow!
Anthony. Fun fact about Anthony Alobia, he was a JUCO guy too. Played at Arizona Western.
Oh wow, he played at Western
the exact same time I was playing at MCC.
Small world.
It's funny. It was crazy. So for them to put us in the same,
not even in the same spot, same room,
yeah. For them to put us in the same room, it was interesting at first, but I mean. We hung out, and that's the guy who told me, call me a hermit crab.
Oh man, right? You're not having a hermit crab conversation if you're not friends.
Yeah,
right?
it was funny, but he was actually. It made a point, man. I literally didn't do anything. I was in my room the entire time. But me and him grew really close over the years. We resembled, or we had a lot of similar beliefs, and also our journeys were the same, and we were both striving for the same thing,
right?
So it made us, really close, man.
And so you went through 2 full seasons at Kansas, correct?
Full seasons, yes.
2 full seasons there, 2015 and 2016.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you go through that second season. I want to say you played your first full season. I think it was like 6 games that you played in, correct? Something like that.
Played in 6 games?
That's what they had listed for you? They had, I think it was 6.
Because I don't know.
You said I have no idea.
Like I said,
it's a blur.
I can't remember. I kind of deleted that.
Yeah.
But what I do remember though is that I registered that first season, and I started the
next season right away.
I didn't start. Well. Can't remember, but I played the next season.
Right.
I played the next season. Like I said,
right
me and
away.
Anthony was going back and forth, and we had a coach that kind of, you start one game, you start the other game.
So you guys were rotational, which is,
it was really great.
At that time, you're like, look, I'm getting PT. It doesn't, what I'm saying?
Right. But I played both seasons. I got hurt on my junior year.
Oh man.
And it wasn't anything. I have a relatively laughable injury history. I mean, it's not like that big of a deal at all, really. I dislocated my elbow in the Iowa State game.
He said it's not a big deal. I dislocated my elbow.
I was out for like a game or two, but I was in a brace. I mean, you see the pictures in the
look. You see the face. All right, that's you. You say it's a laugh.
That was my only
popped your elbow out.
It dislocated. It didn't pop out. It wasn't like a compound fracture or anything like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like. It was like, if anything, it was a very severe hyperextension.
All
if
right,
anything.
man. He modest in all phases. That's wild.
I did it in the Iowa State game. I was rushing the passer, and I was been in the corner. I put my hand down, kind of like, imagine like picture like a surfer,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when he's in the wave
right.
and stuff like that. And Fat Boy fell on me.
Oh man, he bent it in.
Yeah, it been like out. You know what I'm saying? I just remember like it was quick because like boom boom.
Yeah,
right?
fell.
And I was like, what the fuck happened?
You're like, that hurts.
Yeah, man. I was like, and I just came off field, man, and then they took me to the little medical room or whatever.
Right.
That was it. I missed 2 games actually. I missed the Baylor game and I missed the Texas Tech game. After that,
and so,
but that was the only injury that I had.
That was your. I mean,
yeah.
Thank goodness, because like you said, we talked to Joey, and unfortunately, Joey went through hell, with his injuries, and man, so and good for him for fighting through all that stuff. But that's good that was like your, your biggest quote unquote one that you dealt with.
Yeah.
And so you go through that, you go through your senior season, or technically junior season, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Redshirt junior.
Right. And so your redshirt junior season. Now after that, you had a pro day, correct? You went and you attended the pro day.
Mm-hmm.
You prepared for that. You said you even got to train with Joey. Is that right?
Yeah, we trained at Fishers together, man.
That's great. That's great, man. And so what was kind of like? Was there a point where you're like, I'm trying to play at the highest level. Like this is the goal here.
Oh, they never was just try. They never was like, hey, I'm trying to do this. It's like, oh, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Once I really like started in high school.
Yeah.
Like I said, my first year playing tackle football was
with those guys.
Was my freshman year.
Right.
So, every kid that likes a sport, wants to.
Of course.
At some point thinks about playing professionally. But for me personally, it didn't really start to gain traction in my mind until I actually started, doing well in the sport.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that was early.
Yeah. You started your freshman year and then all of a sudden you were
right.
all state, all everything by your senior season. And so, mentally preparing for a pro day, what was that process like?
Nerve-wracking. Yeah, man, everybody, even if you're on the outside looking in, man, everybody they can get behind the idea of just being watched and being ridiculed and criticized and just, picked apart, your game picked apart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to know that at some point you're going to be at this place where there are however many teams, however many guys that represent these teams that are really in charge, or they determine whether or not you do the thing that you set out to do, you achieve your dream or not. These guys give you a bad grade or they give you a bad, whatever.
That's
they
it.
Don't your chances are slim to none.
Are done, yeah, pretty much.
So preparing for it, the thought of that alone, man, it could drive you and it can crush you, really. But at the end of the day, you still do it. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, though, I was nervous about it because I didn't care about any of that type of stuff.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't like the weight room warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like even in high school, I wasn't on the 1,000-pound club. I was on a 900-pound club.
Shoot.
But like
I know you see Joey was in every
right, but that culture and that school,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like how much lifting we actually did do, and everything that came with Desert Ridge football, I still wasn't like the top performer in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? So if we fast forward to my pro day, getting ready for it, like the 225 test, man, I'm like, bro, I'm not going to do well at this.
So like, and that's funny that you say that, because there's been guys like, a couple years ago is really famous. There was he's the punter for the Bears, name's Pat O'Donnell. He was out there repping the 225, and I want to say he put up like 26 or something.
That's crazy.
Which is insane, right? And he had beat all the linemen in his class, right?
As a punter.
Yeah, as a punter. And so like, to me, I think that's something that's slowly starting to get away from the game, is like, that dependency on that specifically.
Right.
But yeah, that definitely, I'm sure, played a mental part. And so you go through your pro day. What were your coaches telling you about your pro day? Like, did you have people in your ear? Did you have expectations? Did you?
I didn't have too many people. I don't know. When we got to Fisher's, me and Joey were kind of like, we were different from the rest. Okay. I paid mine out of pocket.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have an agent to pay
Right.
me or to pay for it, to pay me for it. So
Got you.
we were there. We were with all those guys that had all the bells and whistles with after college, stuff like that, agents and meal plans and stuff like that. So as far as like people behind me telling me this and that, I mean, besides the guys who were actually training me in what we were doing, it wasn't anybody else. I was really like, it was all on me.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's fine. I never had a problem with that because it's been a lot like that my whole life as far as.
Right. It kind of fits your mantra of like, I'm self-made. I'm really doing this me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal, but there wasn't too much encouragement from anybody else to answer your question.
Yeah, I get you. And what's funny is, Joey definitely said, he said pay out of pocket, no agent. Yeah. And that's the thing is, guys that, are kind of quote unquote outside the bubble, like you're explaining, it's really hard to make your way into that bubble.
Right.
Right. And, obviously the draft's going on right now as we're talking, and, and that's such a big thing, especially now it's becoming more and more of a spectacle. So like you went through your pro day, obviously even from Kansas, you guys had some guys you had Fish Smithson. He was out there. He was probably of that class, probably the most highly touted, would you say, out of Kansas, like as far as media attention?
Out of that class, I believe so.
Yeah.
Something tells me that there's another person in there, but you're probably right.
And so
Fish was the lead, like he was the marquee
got
of
you.
that class.
Okay. Yeah. And so so draft comes, draft goes. Did you have any conversations? Was there anything that you were like, I'm hoping I'm going here, I want to take this step forward, what's my best path?
Yeah, there was a few conversations, a few teams reached out. A few CFL teams reached out too.
Oh wow, okay.
So by the time my pro day, it probably was like a few weeks before my actual pro day, I finally was able to be represented by somebody.
Oh wow.
I don't remember his name.
That's how short you're right.
Right, but I remember going to the Tropical Bowl. So it's an all-star game.
Right.
In Daytona Beach.
Yeah, we actually had that poster. You going to the Tropical Bowl?
That little
yeah.
I remember going there and talking, having a couple interviews and stuff like that. And I remember the CFL team came up to me and they basically said like, "Hey, you should think about playing CFL just in case
you should come up there."
Right. And I said, I was respectful. We had a conversation, and the conversation ended, and I went to that guy, and he told me, "No, don't worry." Oh, I think the CFL guy asked me to come out to a tryout.
Uh-huh.
The CFL has tryouts throughout the country, and it's like $100 to be able to do that. And my agent was like, "No, don't do that. It's just a money grab. If they wanted you, then
they go get you."
Yeah, you just sign and stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So I didn't take any consideration. It was whatever. So fast forward to the end of the draft. I'm basically an undrafted free agent, and all that stuff kind of doesn't pan out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And right after that, I think like the CFL guy called me and asked me, are you going to be a part of, are you going to come and practice?
Right.
And he's like, I was like, nah, my agent tells me I shouldn't.
Really?
Yeah. I followed what my agent told me.
And so like, in that moment where you like, I kind of feel like I should try it, or were
Mhm.
you just kind of like, yeah, my agent knows what's going on, even though you guys didn't have that?
I trust. I was very naive to everything. I trusted it, and that's what I said. And that was it.
And so, after that point, after kind of, not deciding to go that route, was there any future conversations? Like, did your agent kind of, since he didn't really,
Mhm.
give you too much time a day, like what kind of was he recommending for you?
He told me to stay patient.
Oh,
That's what he told me.
and
So I
as
got
an
rid of the guy.
athlete, that killed you.
Yeah,
Huh?
so I got rid of the guy.
Yeah.
I was without an agent again for a long while, but I got an opportunity with Green Bay for a little while. I signed a futures contract after my first year,
Oh, wow.
after being on the street for a year,
Wow.
and I went in and did rookie mini camp, and then it was it. That was it. And then after that, not too long after that, I got another agent who immediately got me signed to the Edmonton Eskimos. So it's like at the end of the day,
So do you think it was an
just go
agent
see
thing?
the-
Like,
yeah, it was definitely an agent thing. And then also, I mean, after that, or in between that, I had a lot of different opportunities too with a lot of different teams, but it didn't really work out. So,
and do you think that was just like you knew what level you expected yourself to be at? Or was it like I see a certain vision for my path forward, or I just don't feel like this is a fit?
in what way?
So, like,
Mm.
you said you had other opportunities, some other teams were reaching out. I'm assuming you're talking
Yeah.
about probably some overseas stuff.
No. I'm talking about NFL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And so, like, those.
tryouts though. These are actually like one-on-one tryouts.
Gotcha. And so, those things not panning out, were you just motivated to continue to get more opportunities, or like, what kind of took you to that next phase?
The motivation after you get one tryout is like, okay, at least I'm still like in these conversations.
There's interest, right?
Right, and at least there's something like I'm still a talking point. They want to bring me in and all stuff like that. But at a certain point, and this is what happened to me, at a certain point when I go to these things and it didn't work out, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of wasting time now. You know what I'm saying? Because you spend so much time preparing for something like that, and like I said from at the very beginning, a lack of focus, any lack of focus, regardless of how extreme it is a disservice to you. If you're really trying to, be an adult,
Yeah, right.
and do real shit,
Right.
So
It's all
like,
detrimental.
right. So like for me, I'm a type of person where like if I'm going to, I have to let go of football in order for me to actually do something else.
Mhm.
Because if I even have a crack of being able to have an opportunity to play somewhere, that's going to consume me more than me being able to do like a regular 9 to 5,
Right,
stuff like that,
right.
or just anything considering just regular day-to-day life.
And so, now that you're kind of, like you said in your words, kind of like moving forward, taking that next step, you mentioned that you're coaching.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the things that I'm doing. Yeah.
How'd you get involved in that?
Oh, it was pretty easy. I mean, right after the draft, once I didn't get picked up, I was a GA at Pitt State.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the University of Pitt State down in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Kansas. Right under Coach. Damn, I forgot his name. It's crazy. It's nuts.
You know how many people you've seen through your
I
pathway? It's
know.
all right.
It's
It's acceptable.
This happens to me a lot. Wow. Either way, he was a very prominent coach. I mean, he took a couple national championships with this team.
Wow.
So I was luckily was able to do the GA thing, and then that's when the opportunity hit, and I left. So I was like, okay, I got to do this, and he respected it, and so that all stopped. When I came back though to Arizona, a little bit later, I just went to MCC.
Right.
It was like I was helping them coach the D line.
Gotcha.
And then right after that season ended, I was at Desert Ridge not too long after that. And and I was the D line coach at Desert Ridge for a little bit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So I mean, it's really kind of like going backwards in the sense of, or giving back. Let's call it that.
Okay.
Going back to all my alma maters.
Yeah.
Places
Right.
that places that I was at, and just kind of trying to keep a tradition and trying to help out. Right. With what I know, what I've learned over the years, because it was a lot of different stuff.
And when you think about some of the stuff that like you have to give back, and some of the stuff because you've had so much football and so many good coaches that you've been around, what are some of the things that advice wise you like to offer the younger generations?
There's a lot of stuff you got to tell them, man. I just help me out. What exactly? Let's
give
narrow it down to like one thing that I can tell that I would tell them, because
let's do this. If you're, you made it to some people's vision of the highest level,
right?
Okay, because a lot of people are like D1 and I'm good, right? If you're high school kids watching this, okay, and he wants to make it Division 1, okay, what would you say is something that maybe you found along the way was, because obviously the academic piece was big for you, right? Huge. The academic was huge for you.
Huge.
Ginormous. But let's go on the football side of things. What's something that you would give as far as advice, as far as preparing yourself to be able to chase that dream of being D1?
It wasn't until I realized that we're just talking more. I got this idea, and I even got I realized this in high school. Practice isn't enough. If we're talking about what everybody likes to talk about, it sounds good. Hey, I want to play in the NFL, or hey, I want to play at a D1 college. Let's not say the NFL.
You're right.
We're gonna keep that a little bit down the road. We're going to get to that in a second, as far as it's like what you want to do. But if you just want to play D1 football, there is a level of dedication that you have to put into the game that you don't get just by going to practice. However, whatever practice you got going on in high school, once a day, the 5 times a week, you know what I'm saying? It's just not enough. As far as we're talking about reps,
right?
As a defensive end, going to practice, yes, it's huge. You definitely have to go to practice to learn the plays and all stuff like that, get condition, all that stuff. We all know these things, right?
Live action against people, right?
But if I am trying to get better at specifically my position, technique wise, right, it's going to take more reps than the reps that you're doing in practice in order to achieve that goal. In order for it to be second nature,
right?
Okay, practice isn't going to get it done. As far if we're talking about if we want to play D1, okay, that is the
and that's the thing is that's the separator, right?
Right.
Is the extra stuff, is the ability to be like, no, I'm going to train religiously even if I'm not in ball,
right?
Even in spring and even in those off times,
right? Let's talk about like Joey. If Joey's still here, Joey mentioned to you, right, how much he did after practice, right? And that's why Joey was so damn successful at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And don't give a look. There's definitely outliers. There's freaks. There's guys
Joey's one of those guys that has an extra one.
Right. There's guys who hop out of bed and they can just do what hey, do this, and they do it better than everybody else. Okay.
Right.
But when to get to D1, that doesn't happen anymore.
No, right. That playing field becomes even.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you didn't do what I just said in high school. So now you're basically starting later. Because if you still want to be successful, okay, you go to 11 play field, everything's kind of evened out now.
Yeah. You
still got to separate yourself, right? So now you're gonna now the extra reps come in.
Right.
And now you're too late. You know what I'm saying? You could have started this 3-4 years ago.
I like that.
As far as being technically sound, and I'm a big technique guy. When I'm a coach, I'm a technique guy. So listen, this step got to be this. We're not wasting any steps and hand placement and all that stuff like that. It has to be right.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better, or the more reps that you do, once it becomes muscle memory, you'll be straight.
Right.
So a lot of times it's not muscle memory, and a lot of guys, kind of just out there. Young guys specifically, they find themselves just out there just improvising.
Right. Just and that's the thing is, you find that in a lot of youth levels, and guys that are like, I could just get it done regardless, and that's not the case. Once you get to those upper tiers, that's almost never the case.
Yeah, it's a dangerous way of thinking to say I can get it done regardless.
Yes,
if you're serious about it, and that's what that is the if you're serious about it,
that's kind of like the crux of everything, right?
Like if you're just out there to play, then okay, go have fun, go
Right.
play. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you want to actually have some success at doing what you're doing, rep it out, man.
Right. Rep it out. I like that. He said, rep it out, man. So one, I really appreciate you being here today. I know I've been talking your ear off for 2 hours
Man,
now.
I love this shit, man.
Like I said, you're welcome back at any point. We could always come in, talk
appreciate it,
shit,
man.
the whole
I
thing.
might have to stop by and
Oh yeah,
kick some shit.
for sure. Do you have anything that you would give as far as advice to maybe former players like yourself?
Former players,
Mm.
as far as the real world,
Yes, sir.
man, I don't think I have anything that people don't already know. But what I will say is, once you're done with the sport that you wanted to play, everything, all the dust settles and stuff like that, you're gonna come. I mean, if you're lucky, you don't have to go through this. But I feel like a lot of guys are gonna get to a point in life where they don't know what the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
There was a guy that came and talked to us at Kansas. Oh my God, I forgot his name is spacing. His name, I forget his name too. But he's in the Ring of Honor.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like Hadel, I think. I can't remember. Listen, he came to talk to us, and he said
That's irrelevant. But here we go.
And he mentions this. He calls it the forest, where it's like you're just lost. You're lost in a way where like you don't know exactly where to go at this point. You just kind of you're in limbo in a sense. Find something to do. If anything, I know we're talking to former players, but even current players now, bro, find a hobby to find something that makes you happy to do. You know what I'm saying? And just keep that, because you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know afterwards. You might be able to find a way of making it make you some money. You know what I'm saying? And just like, I know it's hard to tell somebody that football is going to end. I know a lot of people don't understand it. They don't believe it. And I get it. And I never will down a kid for thinking like that.
Yeah.
For having it's naive to think that way, because they're not old enough. They don't feel that heat yet. But it's really important for you, especially if you got an opportunity to go for a full-ride scholarship somewhere. It's very important for you to figure out or to pick a degree that you really want to do, or it's really going to be beneficial. Don't just go there for liberal arts and sciences.
Yeah, just like your basic generic stuff, really finding a niche.
Yeah, something that you like, man.
That's awesome.
Just put more effort into other stuff. If we're just to sum all that up, put a little bit more effort in doing other things, man, because at the end of the day, you just kind of it's better just kind of transition from one thing to another,
right? Having something to kind of fill that,
other than being lost and being like stagnant for a long time trying to figure things out, and then you're behind the ball in a sense.
I love it, man. I really, really, really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, because I know you came literally from Atlanta. You came out here. You're only here for a short time, but I appreciate you giving me a couple hours to pick your brain. Like I say, anytime you want to come back, bro, the floor is yours. I always got space for you. Maybe we'll get you and Joey on a double segment or something one day.
That might
be dangerous.
That. No, it's dangerous. No, that's box office right there, baby.
Oh yeah, for sure. Prime time. Yeah, I would probably pick a seat over in the corner and let y'all just run the whole thing.
Yeah, just ask us questions and we'll just go.
There you go.
We'll just argue about it.
There you go. We appreciate you, Joey. Thank you so much for watching, man. Tuned in. Pezzy, Jacob, Justin, I appreciate all you guys' comments. If you guys are watching this, again, you can go back and watch the whole thing on saywhatchwillradio.com. You can also go on our YouTube, Undrafted GM, our Instagram. Make sure you go check that out, because that has Damani's info in there. You can go and follow him on YouTube or on Instagram. So go definitely do that. Another shout out from Pezzy.
Love you, Pezzy.
But man, like I said, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you, bro. I really, really appreciate it. I know it's your brother's birthday, so you guys go have fun. But yeah, I'm gonna get you up out of here. Until next time, guys, this has been another episode of Undrafted GM. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.
30 game. 3rd down and 9. 8 drop into coverage. 3 get pressure and sack Boykin back at the 33. It's Mosby again, and the punt team comes out for the